All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakudash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of the great millstone and taught us his truth and every will. A salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So we'll jump into another weekly edification, letting you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know you are the children of Israel according to the scriptures. This is place America, as you know, it is called Babylon the Great according to the scriptures. All right, Esau, Edom is our enemy. All right, and hey, we're watching the downfall of his kingdom. All right, you got a lot of different things that's going on in prophecy and the news and the media and things like that. But what are all these things shaping up to, man? All right, what are all these things signs of, man? These are all signs of what? The end. All right, the end is come. All right. Matter of fact, let me grab the precept real quick. Because all these things are so-called the markings and the measuring sticks of the end of this here place, man. Every kingdom beforehand, all right, had a start and a finish, man. All right. Matter of fact, I can read that and we'll come back over to get this precept real quick. Alright, so I'm gonna hold that. Let me start off over here and get this other precept first. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 6. Alright, I'm gonna start at verse 1. Alright, because again, hey, like I was going into, hey, we're at the end of this here bad boy, man. Alright, you seeing the signs of a decaying kingdom right before your eyes, man. The questions that people have in their minds, like what's going on. Talking to a lot of these people and everything else like that. It's kind of funny that just the spirits of some of these people, man. They're pretty much telling on their own selves, man. You walk around in the world in a quote unquote Clark Kent mode. While you at work and things like that, and then people, because obviously they can sense your spirit and things like that. They'll just come up upon you and start conversating with you on certain things. They start talking about the quote unquote climate of the world right about now. All right, and they're saying certain things like, hey, man, I don't know about if this and that, and I don't know if we got about, I heard somebody say, I'm just trying to push forward for my child to be able to get to this here age and so on and so forth. I don't think we got about another 20 years in this bad boy before we all are all gone. And I'm thinking to myself, like, well, what good is that if your child is over 18 at that point in time if we all going to be gone? Like, what's the point? And it was like, you know what, just thinking that, trying to so-called make it into that point in time, man. But, and asking them like, oh, so you didn't address the elephant in the room. This might be the end of this bad boy, right? And it's like, yeah, I think so. I don't think we can do anything about it. This is our last couple of chances of these things, man. And this is, speaking to the proud, the Edomites, man. All right, so they know that at this point in time, that, hey, they're coming to an end. All right, you got all the signs, all the writings is on the wall. Everything that's going on around you, everything is speaking forth for itself is letting you know what's going on out here, man. All right, but you got 2/3 of our people that are still asleep. 2/3 of our people that are blinded, 2/3 of our people who don't want to hear the truth. All right, but hey, they're you gotta, well, I was gonna say you gotta ignore those people, but really, hey, man, you should be watching those people because why? Those are the people that's keeping you in line, making sure that that, hey, man, at least, hey, the water Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, like the scripture say, blessed are your eyes for they see the things that they see. All right, speak to you in parables because the kingdom this was for you to understand, not for them. You was called into this truth, they wasn't, man. So as long as, you see that they sleep and, you like, damn, why don't y'all see this? Why don't y'all see that, man? And there's a better opportunity, a better chance that you're going to wind up making it out in this bad boy, man. All right, at least that you're not out here blind like these people to the point to where, you out here asleep, man. You still out here trying to get a record deal. You out here trying to, so-called prosper in this here society, man. All right, when you have like the scriptures say, when the strong men shall bow themselves. Where's that at? See if I can find that real quick, because now more than ever, give me a second. Let me find this precept real quick. Now more than ever, this is all coming to play. Oh, I got another precept I want to grab too. This is Ecclesiastes, if I can get to it. All right. Oh, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. It says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasures in them. And hey, there's a lot of people right now that's so-called sobering up to these things, man, where they're like, so-called, beforehand they would be out there, living it up. Oh, I don't want to hear about this, I don't want to hear about that, I'm living my best life, I'm doing all these things. And now you have the tone in their voices changed now, man. Now they're just like and sad and sorrow and things like that. There was a stat that I heard about, how do I say, people erasing themselves, all right, was accounted for more people than died, let's just say in the last 2 years, more, let's just say. More people died of that than the other thing, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to get the video flagged dealing with these folks. But nevertheless, hey, man, you got more people that are erasing themselves because of what? The despair, the downturns, the downtrodden, the so-called sorrows, the miseries that they're living in right about now, man. All right, they can't take the so-called, the good days are all gone, man. All right, so like the scripture said, remember now that thy created in the days of thy youth, man. All right, well, let's read it. It says, remember now thy created in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasures in them. And that's the times that we're living in right now, where people are having no pleasures in these days, man. You got people struggling to get by, people struggling to pay bills, people not knowing where they're gonna be living, people getting evicted left and right. You have people that's how do I say this, out here that's not knowing how they're gonna get their next meal, man. All right, people that don't know what they're gonna, looking at their children like, man, you're not gonna be able to grow up and have this type of life, man. We've been telling people about this for years on end, but now it's coming into a reality where these people are seeing these things, man. All right, now you're having all these different things that's going on where people say, hey, man, we don't know what's gonna happen, when the next we'll say the next political cycle comes around, man. They don't know what's gonna happen at those points of times, man. They're preparing for what? All out chaos to take place, man. All right, so hey, even they know that something is going down out here, man. But look, like I said, 2/3, it's a lot for them not to be able to get this. So hey, that's just their role. But hey, call halal Yahweh Shem Yahushua for giving us the eyesight to be able to see these things, man. The vision to be able to understand these things, for us to be able to have faith in it, to hear and understand these here words, man. To believe on these things, man. But let's continue on. It says, verse 2, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, and the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened, and the doors be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low, and he shall rise up early, he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. The point I wanted to grab is when the days of the house of the keepers, and the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, man. All right, because hey, like I said, man, you gotta think about Jake versus Esau in this, man. Jake don't be knowing nothing about nothing out here in this society, man, economically and everything else like that. Now you will have some small percentage of Jake that understand that, but the majority of Jake don't understand no shit like that, man. In a time where they should be saving their money, seeing that these things, first of all, they don't watch the news, so they'll tell you on the news, hey, there's gonna be a coming food shortage, or coming housing crisis, coming gas prices rising up and things like that. Jake don't want to hear those things, man. So Jake ain't watching those things. And what do you think Jake doing when they get their paycheck? Think that they gonna go buy some extra food? You think they gonna go buy some save their little shekels that they got? No, hell no. Jake finna go get the new Jordans that's finna drop. Jake finna go get them a new outfit to go to the club with. Jake finna go to the club and start popping some bottles, man. Making it rain on some bitches in the club, man. This is what Jake out there doing. So they ain't got no sense of urgency, or a sense of measurement of things to go when we talk about economics, man. But you have, like I said, these Edomites out here that's, a lot of them know the temperature of the water, because why? A lot of them have their own businesses and things like that. And you can, you can measure how well the economy is going just by how well your business is going. Now, not saying you got like a shitty business and your business is a bad business, but let's just say you got a restaurant, right? Anybody got a restaurant, a movie theater, a rental car agency, you own a theme park, let's say you got to own a theme park. All these people that own and run these places, they can tell you by their figures, you know what, business is looking bad because like throughout the pandemic, all right, they're like, look, our sales has dropped off. You know what I'm saying? So we can tell you economically things ain't going good right now. If people is not really renting cars right now, people ain't really flying right now, people ain't going to the theme parks right now, people ain't going to the movies right now. Economy is looking bad right about now, man. People ain't really spending money. All right, but lo and behold, these people are looking out the windows and saying, hey, man, a lot of these Edomites is looking around and saying, hey, things is getting bad right about now, man. We don't know how much more longer we can go along with these things. You might have had your small business restaurant. I don't know how long I can keep paying for this. I don't know what the food prices going up, gas prices going up, the trucking and things like that. I don't know how much longer we'll be able to stay in business to pay these people a living wage, man. So what do you think that they wind up doing, man? they wind up fretting. They wind up they start taking heed to these things, but they become into a worrisome state. But lo and behold, you got Jake that's out here living it up. But hey, man, there's a lot of these people out here, especially these Edomites, like I said, man. They're like, the evil days are drawing nigh to them, where they having no pleasures in these days, because wow, they're measuring the time diligently, looking at this here economy, all right, and they're seeing that their days are numbered, man. All right, they're seeing that they're coming to the end of their kingdom, man. They're looking around, it's like, look, bro, hey, we're not gonna be here that much more longer, man. All right, the so-called good days are all gone for us, man. For us to be able to have living wages or start out with our first starter homes and things, everything is too high for us to be able to prosper out here nowadays, man. They're starting to see these things, and they're, measuring diligently, saying, hey, man, this is it for us, man. This is the end of our kingdom. So let me go to, let me read this here first, and then we'll go to that Ezekiel. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, and start at verse 1. It says, and he said unto me, in the beginning when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew. It says, before it thundered or lightened, or the foundations of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together. All right, so hey, this is the Most High speaking about all these things in the very, 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 very beginning of all these things, before the angels was created, before the heavens and the earth was created, before all these different things, man. The Lord ultimately had a game plan, man. He ultimately had a will that he was going to push forward, man. All right, and so let's keep reading. It says, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of angels was gathered together, or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys of Zion were hot, and ere the present years were sought out, or ever the inventors of them that now sin were turned, before they were sealed, that have gathered faith for a treasure. So, hey, before the elect was even sealed, the elect was sealed from the foundations of the earth. So this is from the beginnings of the beginnings, right? It says, then did I consider these things, and they were all made through me alone, and through none other. By me also shall they be ended, and by none other. So, hey, the Most High is in control of all these things, man. All right, the Most High has started the the action of all these things, and he's going to be the ender of all these things. All right, the author and the finisher of all things, man. All right, so hey, you think that you have your own bounds set by your own self, and you think you're gonna, their inward thoughts is they was gonna continue on forever. All right, that they was gonna just leave their names to their offsprings on and on and on in a perpetual giving. All right, but ultimately, hey, man, the Most High said, we can grab that as well too. The Most High said that it's right here, not far off. This is Job 14, I believe it's Job 14, and like verse 5. Yeah, Job 14 and 5 says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, thou hast appointed the bounds that he cannot pass. All right, and so, hey, we're coming up on that finish line real fast, man. All right, hey, man, Esau has lived deliciously, all right, fared sumptuously day by day, all right, has gone forth in his allotted time of rulership, man. But now it's come time to the end of all these things, man. All right, now it's time for Esau to come up out of power, man. All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 7, all right. I'm gonna start at verse 3, all right, because, hey, like the scripture also say, the Lord was going to take the curses off of Jake and put them on our enemies, right? These are some of the things that happen unto us, but now, the time, the time cycle has ended for these things to be happening unto Jake, and now all of our enemies are about to go through these things, man. Mainly Esau, man, because this is his kingdom that he's ruling in right about now, man. So there's a beginning and an end to his kingdom. This is Ezekiel 7 and 3. It says, now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and I will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. So, like, also let's grab that in Revelation 18 and verse 4. We'll start at verse 4. It says, Revelation 18 and 4 says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, that you receive not of her plagues, All right, and so hey, this is what our people were supposed to be doing. Our people were supposed to be departing from this here place. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. It's polluted, it will destroy you even with the sword of destruction, man. And we see what happens to our people that's cleaving onto this here place and don't want this place to go down, is fighting tooth and nail with this here place. All right, for a prime example, our people that want to fight in this here military and go along with this here, these systems and things like that, man. All right, hey, man, the scriptures say, man, you go over there, man, you know, roughly paraphrasing, you're going to be buried in the sands of times, man. All right, the bride, the women not going to have no, or the bride's not going to have no bridegrooms because they're going to all die of war, man. So, you know, if you of the Israelites, you know what I'm saying, you go over there, you want to fight with Esau, you're going to perish right along with him. All right, so, hey, man, this is why we're not supposed to be partakers of our sins. This is why we're supposed to arise ye and depart. This is why we're not supposed to be so-called comfortable or connected into this, invested into this here place is a better word. We're not supposed to be so invested in this place, man. Because, hey, when you invested into a boat that's sinking, man, guess what? You try to, you know, you over there with the bucket trying to bail out all the water and everything else like that, and you losing all your chances of survival. We should have been abandoned ship, man. All right, but you over here trying to save the boat, save the boat, save the boat. No, save yourself, man. The boat can't be saved, man. All right, you know, you have certain, you know, let's say something heavy that you're trying to save from sinking. Like, bro, all right, if you don't let that bad boy go, you're going to drown right along with it, man. All right, and that's what Jake, you know, you got 2/3 of Jake that's out here just doing these things, man. Because what, they chasing like a career, a mixtape or something like that, man. This is what Jake out here doing. They wanted this place to keep going because, hey, they see a so-called future for them, man. But, hey, Esau don't see no more futures out here in this here thing, man. They giving it up, man. All right, their so-called hope is lost out here, man. You only got a few of these proud-ass Edomites that's willing to pick up the sword and fight it out to the end, man. All right, but hey, a lot of these damn Edomites is like, hey, man, the gig is up, man. All right, we can't do nothing else with it, man. All right, and hey, you know, part of that is Esau making his own people docile and everything else like that. But hey, man, this is what you do when you turn everybody into, you know, well, I don't even know if we can say that word no more. But those guys that watch other guys do what they want to do with their wives and stuff like that, man. You watching somebody take your whole kingdom and you don't want to sit there and fight for it, man. Hey, that's on you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a lose-lose situation for you. You know, if you don't fight, you're going to lose the kingdom. And if you do fight, you fighting against the Lord, you're still going to lose the kingdom. So, either way, it's not looking good for you, man. All right? But let's go back. Revelation 18:5, it says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh have remembered her iniquities. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. All right, so hey, reward her even as she rewarded you. And so all these different nations are gonna wind up spoiling America, man, for the things that America wound up doing it to them. All right, and not only that, man, you got to answer to the Most High and Yahweh for what you've done to this people, man. All right, so hey, not only are you gonna get it, you know, like the scriptures speak about, Lord, so we'll get to it. You know, all these different nations aiming all their arrows at you, man. All right, rewarding you double unto your works, the things you wind up doing unto them. All right, hey, man, the Lord is going to come back and spoil you as well, too, because of the things that you wind up doing it to his own people, man. All right, this is a righteous judgment unto the house of Esau, man. All right, you think you was going to go together, you know, how does the scripture say, you thought that you was going to go all together unpunished. All right, you thought that, you know, that the Most High was like one unto you, man. But nah, man, the Most High is righteous, man. All right, and he's not unrighteous to forget your works and your labor of hatred. Like he say, the Lord is not unrighteous to forget your works and your labor of love, which you show towards his name. Well, he's not unrighteous to forget your hatred that you show towards his people, man. All right, Lord, so we'll get to that as well, too, but let's continue on. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. All right, and hey, you know, America or Esau as a whole, you know, thought that, you know, they was gonna go throughout the whole earth and plunder the whole earth, all right, and never be touched, all right, never be paid back for these things, man. All right, it's like that that kid or that sibling that was gonna go forth and do all this here wickedness, steal all your stuff, you know, punch you in the face and everything else like that. But when you go and you stand up for yourself, now they want to go crying. Oh, they hit me. Oh, they took the toys away from me. Well, you took the toys away from them. All right, you know, you see these little bitty ass children that do things like that. They'll go and, you know, playing with their siblings, and then they'll go and take something, you know, the game from the sibling or something like that now, and then all of a sudden the sibling come and take it back like, nah, I had this first. Now they want to go crying. They took the game from me. Well, you took it from them first. What you thought this was, man? All right, you know, you can't just be crying because of these things, but this is Esau to a T, man. All right, he wept and he sought it carefully with tears, but there was what? No place of repentance that was found for him, man. All right, there's gonna be no so-called how you say? It's gonna be no no mercy shown unto those that didn't show no mercy, man. All right, so hey, you didn't want to show Jake no mercy out here, man. So there's not gonna be no mercy showed unto you. You're gonna be rewarded double unto your own doing, man. The things that you've done, you're gonna be paid back double on those things, man. You know, you like to laugh and scoff and glorify yourselves in the wickedness that you've done. All right, on the earth, yeah, we did that. Yeah, we took this. Yeah, we took that. I done seen some people commenting about what they call them colonizers. Like, yeah, we just did it better than the other folks. Maybe they should have just fought harder, man. All right, so hey, man, keep that same energy when the Most High send you Howard shot, man. Maybe they should have fought harder, man. When your ass go into captivity, man, hey, man, maybe y'all should have fought harder, man. You can't blame the victors for just because y'all was weaker and y'all was not as smart, not as dominant because these things was happening. Hey, man, keep that same energy, man. All right, you know, Esau like to have that forked tongue, man. Always try to paint himself in a state of likeness, you know, I'm in the right area and everything else like that. They just wrong, man. Keep that same energy, man. All right, continuing on. It says, Revelation 18:7, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I said a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. And like I just was saying, man, you know, they out here bragging and boasting. Yeah, we did this. Yeah, we did that. We conquered the whole earth. We conquered. Hey, man, when the Lord come forth, man. All right, what is that? The next page over. Matter of fact, I'm going to stay on this page for a second. Let me go back to Revelation 17 and 14. It says, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called chosen and faithful. All right, so hey, they're going to try to fight the Lord, but what? The Lord's going to overcome them. Hey, keep that same energy, man. Revelation 19 and that's a good one too. That's not exactly what I wanted. That's a little too much I wanted just to get to the point. You can read that from Revelation 19:11. What is it? Revelation 6. And yeah, 6 and 2. This is the one I wanted. And I saw and behold a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. So hey, keep that same energy when you know when the Lord come back and conquer your ass, man. All right, because you know Esau, she how does it say, she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, putting himself up on that pedestal and everything else like that. So hey, when the Lord come and do the same thing unto you, keep that same energy, man. Keep that same how you say that same tone of bass in your voice, man. Oh, we live like this because we got all these freedoms. We the top-notch cream of the crop society. This is why everything is going so good. So why is everything going so bad for you right about now, man? All right, you know, the scriptures talk about, you know, roughly paraphrasing, you prosper because of all your witchcraft, your whoredoms and things like that, man. The scriptures speak about all those things, but now all this is coming to an end. Well, where are you at right about now, man? All right, how come these things aren't helping you right about now? All right, let's go back in to Revelation 18, Revelation 18 and 7, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I said a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine. And she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord who judges her. All right, so hey, you know, ultimately this is going to be the end all be all for you, man. Esau, you about to get judged out here, man. The end is come unto you, man. All right, so hey, you about to get rewarded double for your workings. All right, going back to Ezekiel chapter 3. Or select it. Ezekiel chapter 7 verse 3, it says, now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and recompense thee upon all thy abominations. So hey, the Lord is going to render unto you double what you've wound up doing unto not only the children of Israel, but to the rest of the world, man. All right, you've been a plague or a pestilence, a damn demon unto the rest of the world, man. You put the whole world in subjection. All right, you changed all the ordinances of the earth. All right, you how does it say? Let me grab that real quick. In fact, let me grab this precept as well too, because this is another precept. Boom. All right. But this is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievousness, which they have prescribed, man. All right, you've declared unrighteous decrees, man. All right, you've gone forth and made good evil and evil good, man. All right, you've turned everything upside down, man. Transgressed all the laws, man. All right, you've made it hard for Jake to live a righteous life out here, man. All right, you've promoted all the things that was quote unquote wicked out here on the earth. All right, and you put down everything that was righteous out here, man. All right, it says, woe unto him that decree unrighteous decrees, that right grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. All right, it says, what will you do in the day of visitation and in the desolation which shall come from afar, and to whom will you flee for help, and where will you leave your glory? All right, and that's a rhetorical question, because hey, man, you can't hide from the Most High, man. You have to pay. You have to so-called pay him back, man. But you ain't got enough money in your bank account, so guess what? You're gonna be taken into captivity, you and all your people, man. You're gonna be destroyed off the face of the earth, and the remnant of your people gonna be taken into captivity, man. This is what you have to pay back for your atrocities on the earth, man. And you're starting to see the beginnings of the end right now as we speak. Like, you know, I opened up the lesson as far as, the end has come, basically. All right, for these damn Edomites, man. All right, and also 2/3 of you Jakes. All right, but hey, when you look around and you check the temperature of the world and the atmosphere and the things that's going on around, oh, why is our economy collapsing? Why is the nations looking at us sideways? How come everybody keep calling us out? Why is it being an abomination being an Edomite around here now? Why is it, being a byword and a proverb now, being called a so-called white man and everything else like that, a colonizer? You know, like the scriptures say, again, I gotta grab it, man. That's hilarious. Matter of fact, it's both of them in the same chapter. This is Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee, right? Now let's go back to verse 40. No. 37. All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37. Now the Lord just said he was going to take all the curses from off of us and put them upon our enemies, right? Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whither Yahweh will lead thee. All right, and so, amen. Jake has been a proverb and a byword amongst all these different nations and everything else like that, man. To where, they was calling Jake niggers, spics, and wetbacks, tontos, all these different things, welfare babies, all these different terms they have for Jake, man. Black, all these different terms they was calling us, man. But now, what's the most derogatory term you can call these Edomites nowadays besides the Edomite? All right, you calling them so-called white people, man. They don't want to be called that, man. They was calling them colonizers and things like that, and that's offensive unto them now, man. All right, before they were so-called proud of their so-called countries and their wars and the things that they've been doing, celebrating their Independence Day. But now these all become reproaches unto them, man. All right, because why? They've been known for subjecting the whole world into their, their pain and their suffering, man. They're constantly still going around the globe, subjecting the world to their madness, man. All right, but now what? The nations are calling them out, saying, hey, is this the man that destroyed the earth, that destroyed the kingdoms, that opened out the house of his prisoners, man? All right, so now, you know what I'm saying, it's a byword and a proverb to call somebody a so-called white person nowadays, man. All right, oh, I don't want to be known as the white people, man. I don't want to be associated with my white heritage now, man. Oh, I wasn't these so-called, you ask these folks, they used to say that their forefathers fought for this here land, man. They used to say that their forefathers came over here, they fought for this land, they fought and they died for this. They don't want to be associated with that nowadays because all the facts is coming out how they slaughtered the so-called Native American Indians to get this here land. That's who they had to fight to get this here land, man. All right, that's who they had to colonize and put in the subjections. I had heard somebody say that talking about the colonizers, like, oh, they must not know that the Spaniards came and colonized basically the Latinos, and like, well, who the fuck was the Spaniards at that point in time? First of all, Jake was the Spaniards to begin with, but then, you know what I'm saying, y'all came over there and took Jake out of power over there in Spain and Portugal, when you're dealing with the Moors and stuff like that. All right, Jake was over there first, and then you had Esau came over and took over from that, and then them same Edomites, all right, came and took over the so-called Latinos and Native Americans down here in the Americas, man. All right, so they trying to make it seem like, oh, well, like they do in America, they try to make it seem like the Spanish, all right, being the so-called Latinos, took down the Hispanics, which are the so-called Latinos, you know what I'm saying, again here, like, that don't make no goddamn sense. Just like how they say that these quote-unquote everyday average Americans fought the so-called Native Americans and took them down. Like, nah, man, these is Edomites, man. They go over here and be taking over people's names and things like that, man. All right, they oppress a man even into his heritage, man. This is what Esau does, man. All right, but now you're about to get repaid back for all these things, and now they don't want to be known and associated with who they are according to, not only according to the scriptures, they don't want to be known by the Edomites no more, but hey, they don't even want to be known by the so-called names that they tried to hide under, to not be called the damn Edomites, man. They was proud being called white people beforehand. Now, hey, that's a shame unto them, man. Now they don't want to be known with the so-called history that they had, man, because now it's all this information coming up against them, man. All right, all this information is coming up showing forth what they didn't wind up doing, man. All right. It's going back to, I was going to read this in Isaiah 24. Let me just read verse 4 and 5, because we was going into the fact of how, you know, all the things Esau wound up doing, man. All right, transgressing the laws and ordinance. Well, let's just read it. This is Isaiah 24 and 4. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. All right, so the whole earth is fading away because of who is ruling the earth, man. The earth was given into the hand of the wicked. And what did he wind up doing into it, man? All right, not only did he oppress the people of the earth, he oppressed the earth itself, man. All right, polluted the air with all his, you know, his gases and his pollutants and things like that. Polluted the water with all his toxins and things like that. Got plastic everywhere on the whole earth, man. Polluted the bodies of these people, polluted the minds of these people, man. He's polluted every damn thing, man. All right, that's why, hey, the scriptures say, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It's going to destroy you. All right, hey, man, you'll go be bugged out going crazy out here, man. Thinking you are equal ass American and everything else like that. Hey, that's the most bugged out Jake can get is when they think that I'm not like the rest of these black people out here. I'm a law-abiding black man. I don't sag my pants. I talk proper. And then you get pulled over like Kanye say, hey, even if you in the Benz, you still a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, you can't hide who you are, man. All right? You know, what's his name? Not Dave Chappelle. Chris Rock talk about those things, man. He say, hey, man, you know, I still get pulled over like a regular so-called black man, and then they get up to the window like, oh, hey, it's Chris Rock, man. But yet and still, hey, he's still getting treated like a Jake, man. So you can't run from these things. This is what Esau wound up doing to the whole earth, man. All right? Let's keep reading verse 5. It says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant, man. All right? And so, hey, along with your pollutants of the earth, all right, you changed the way things was set up and ran on the earth, man. From, how do you say, the, you know, the land Sabbaths and things like that, man. Introducing preservatives and toxins into the earth, man. All right, you got all this processed foods and things like that. Now everybody's is full of cancers and bacterias and things like that, because of why, man? You introduced all these how you say modified foods and things like that, man. All right, you got all kind of pollutants in the air and inside the water, man. You can't even, the regular drinking water that you drink is so far full of cleansers and things that so-called cleanse the water. Why do you have to cleanse the water, man? Because you've polluted so much of the doggone water, man. This is why you have to have these so-called water refinery plants and everything else like that. You just dumping more and more toxins into these things, man. All right, hey, man, water ain't supposed to be like that, but who wound up doing all these things, man? This is Esau. This is why he's got to be taken out of the position of power, man. It's so bad that the haughty people of the earth, how does it say? It says, verse 4, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish, man. Even the proud, your own Edomites is out here like, bro, this is just too much, man. All right, you know, the majority of them is complaining because they got to send their kids to school and be taught all kind of madness. All right, you know, because Jake parents, you know, they a little mad or upset about some of these things, but Jake parents ain't as in tune to what's going on with their kids at school. They too busy trying to go to damn work and do whatever they got to go and do. These Edomite parents is, oh, man, what are you teaching my third graders and things like that, man? We got to go out here and vote for these things, man. See, Esau's the one that's representing those things. Jake and them just be like, man, that's a damn shame, and keep it moving, man. They don't really go out here and be protesting on these things, but, hey, who's the one that's turning these things upside down, man? Who's the ones that's over here raising up the prices of your gas, your food, and everything else like that? Jake ain't really complaining about the price of food right about now, because why? He getting food stamps anyway, man. You know what I'm saying? So they like, hey, free food, free food. We still balling out on the budget right now. Esau, y'all the one got to pay for y'all food flat out. Y'all the ones that's complaining over the food and everything else like that. So what? The haughty people of the earth is the ones that's out here complaining. All right, they're the ones talking about some, hey, we got to take our country back and things like that, man. Y'all giving everything away. Hey, man, this is the end of your kingdom, man. You don't see that all these things are in tandem to the way that you was living. Scriptures say reward her double as she rewarded thee. all right, as you've been over plundering all these other nations, all right, and taking resources from all these other nations and things like that, man. Hey, now all your resources is going out to these other nations and things like that, man. All right, you know, you ain't got no money to IRS and everybody running out of money and everything else like that, but yet and still, you writing stimulus packages to send overseas, man. All right, to fund the war that ain't got nothing to do with you, man. All right, but lo and behold, hey, this is how your kingdom goes down, man. All right, same way, hey, when you go back to ancient Rome, same thing happened back in those days, man. All right, you didn't have you know, you was so far spread thin. All right, you had to keep devaluing your currency. Couldn't afford to feed your whole military and everything else like that, man. You can't afford to feed your population over here, man. They keep telling you on the news about how they got a certain supply of food left and everything else like that, man. Hey, these are all the signs of the end of your kingdom, man. All right, this is the end all be all, and then you got to ask yourself, why are these things coming upon us, man? Why are these things happening to us now? What do we do? If you were such good people on the earth, why are all these wicked things happening unto you, man? All right, obviously you've been lying to your people the whole time. Like the scriptures say, the children shall complain of ungodly fathers, man. All right, they shall say surely they inherited lies. I believe that's in Jeremiah. If I can find that real quick. That was right here in Jeremiah 16. Let me just look it up. I thought it was right here in Jeremiah 16. But we can look it up, no problem. But this is you know, something that you have to take in account of. The fact of the matter is like, hey, if everything was being done so righteously, why are these things falling upon us, man? All right. I didn't see that. I thought it was right there. This is Jeremiah 16. And verse 19. All right. Oh man, I dropped my precepts. Damn it. All right. Jeremiah 16 and 19 says, "O Yahweh, my strength, my fortress, and my refuge, and the Salah." It says, "O Yahweh, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, things where there's no profit." So like I said, man, if you were so-called all righteous saints, always the light of the world, always helping out the people of the earth and everything else like that, man, why are all these bad things coming upon you? You know, they have a saying, the chickens have come home to roost. All right, if you was over here so-called spreading all these good things around the world, how come people aren't coming into your aid right about now, man? All right, why is it the fact that you have a opposite reaction to these things, man? Why are these other nations are looking at you right now and saying, look, man, this is the problem, man. You've been stirring up these things in our backyards and everything. You haven't been helping us out, man. You've been actually going against us, man. You even have your own allies right now that's trying to pull away from you. Why? Is it because you've been being a good friend unto them? No, man, you've become a pain in their backside, more or less to say, man. All right, you got your own allies and things in these different scandals. Hell, you even got uproars and atrocities going on amongst your own people, man, to the point to the fact to where they don't even want to be associated with you, all right, for the lies you've been telling them, man. All right, so, hey, man, these people are saying that surely, let's read it again, Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 19. "O Yahweh, my strength, my fortress, and my refuge in the days of affliction, the Gentiles shall come up unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things where there's no profit." All right, so hey, they've inherited lies and where there's no profit, man. It's funny that Esau came and parked his car right here, and then went around the block, and he didn't move his damn car because he heard exactly what the hell was going on, man. All right, you didn't inherit the lies, and guess what? You know, how they said the shoe fit, wear it, you know, hit dogs holler and everything else like that, man. All right, hey, you know what? Damn, man, they might be right. All these things is coming to pass because look at how we've been living, man. You can't live into the lies that you've been living beforehand, man. Oh, we're just such a righteous country. You know, they used to say, if you don't like it, go home or wherever. Well, where are we going to go to, man? You've uprooted all of us and changed the borders on the face of the earth. All these different things, man. And it's not just us that's saying these things, man. It's your own people that's saying, hey, we got to get rid of this here place, man. This place is nothing but filled with abominations on abominations on abominations, man. All right, this whole place is how the scripture say, the whole head is sick, man. All right, and this is what you have going on right about now, man. You got it to the point to where, hey, man, the so-called, how the scripture say, where's that, Isaiah 14. Let's go to that real quick. Isaiah 14 and 4. Yeah, but I want to read, there's a certain script. Well, it's verse like 11. All right, let's go. Let me just read straight on through. Isaiah 14 and 4, it says, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor ceased and the golden city ceased? All right. Hey, how is it that America has come to naught, man? If you're such a, you going back to you inheriting these laws, if you were such a righteous nation, if you was the one that was so-called helping out, you was such, you know how they say with these churches, they go on these ministries and these, whatever they call it, where they going out to like different countries to feed the poor. Hey, if you was such a righteous person, man, that's why the scriptures say a good name is basically best above all, because why, man? With that good name, people will vouch for you even in a time of troubles and atrocities. There was this one guy, I forgot who he was. It had something to do with music or something like that, right? But he was like one of the so-called most notable famous people in music that you didn't see on the forefront, but he was behind the scenes. You know, he helped out all these different people get their careers together and connect people and everything else like that, and so on and so forth. And there was a point in time where he became bankrupt and everything else like that, and this was a time where they didn't really allow blacks into certain things, and you know, they was like, you know how they was acting back in the olden days. But nevertheless, this was a black man that when he was bankrupt, losing his house and everything else like that, he had so much respect on his name from these other people and what he's done in the industry and what he's done for all these other folks, that, you know, he was about to lose his house, going into bankrupt, losing his company and everything else like that, that Esau, these little small hatters, came up like, yo, wait, how come you ain't tell us you was going bankrupt, you was losing everything? He's like, well, I ain't feel like it was none of y'all business to know. This is on me to do it. They went to their pockets, grabbed their checkbooks, and wrote him a check to get him up out of debt, just like that. Boom. Now again, these are in times where, you know, they was like, you know, openly how they act towards Jake, man. Nah, y'all can't eat out here. You know, you gotta go eat out around back. You know, in times like again, this was before, you know, Michael Jackson did like Thriller and stuff like that. In those times, putting, you know, Michael Jackson together with like Quincy Jones and all them people like that, man. So you can only imagine in a time like that where they didn't want to play Michael Jackson on MTV. All right, these same small hatters that didn't want to play Michael Jackson on MTV, didn't want no black people on MTV. The same folks sitting there writing a check to this black dude so that he can get up out of debt and everything, instead of just letting him fold and fall under and pick up all his resources and things like that. This was the guy who put and signed your boy Bill Withers, the guy who came up with the song "Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone." These are back in those times, man, just to give you an idea of the time frame. But nevertheless, you had Esau go in their pockets, these Amalekites go in their pockets, basically to get Jacob out of debt and everything. Why? Because he had a so-called good name amongst them. He had respect amongst them, man. So the point is, I'm making with that is, if this guy was such a bad business person, a bad person, to be treated bad and everything else like that, he was just a straight goon out there in the streets. Why the hell would you think that anybody would try to so-called support him? Like the scriptures say, when you basically, when the Lord basically, roughly paraphrasing, finds sight and find favor in his, you have favor in his sight. You know what I'm saying? He would even make your enemies be at peace with you, man. So in this scenario, you got these small hatters and everything else like that bailing Jake out in these times where you still have open racism and things. Why? Because he had a so-called good name amongst them, man. He was respected amongst them, man, because of his works and the things that he was doing, right? So to bring that back to what I was saying about the children have inherited lives from their fathers, man. If they were so righteous, if they were such heavenly people on the face of the earth, in a time like right now where economically America's collapsing, all right, how come these nations ain't stepping up to help America out, man? All right, in a time like when you have things that's going on here in America that's working on the downfall and thing, how come you don't have these people sending quote-unquote humanitarian aid to America and all these different things like that, man? How come you don't see all these people standing up to help America? In fact, it's the opposite. They have these people like Psalms 2 say, I might want to read this first and then, Let me read verse 4 and then I'm going to go over to Psalms 2. It says, thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor ceased and the golden city ceased? Matter of fact, let me read this other precept before I get that. This is Jeremiah. (51:7). It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. All right, so hey, we got to do what we got to do to make sure she's straight, right? It says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. So look, there ain't no healing for Babylon, man. This is it for it. It says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. Let everyone go into his own country, for her judgments reach unto heaven and is lifted up to the skies. So, hey, man, this is the end-all, be-all for America, for Babylon the Great, man. All right, now let's go to Psalms 2. Because, like I was saying, let me read Psalms 2:1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? All right, and the reason that, you know, as you reading that, what's going on is basically they see that America's about to fall, man. All right, and they're jockeying for position to get into that place where America's at, man. So the question I'm going back to asking is the fact of, hey, for you modern day Americans, most of y'all have inherited lies about how righteous your nation has been, how much good you've been doing on the earth. If you've been doing all this here good on the earth, why are the nations planning for your downfall, to replace you, man? How come they're not planning on keeping you up and in power? If you're such a good boss, or such a good leader, why are they trying to so-called overthrow you right now, man? It's not like, I mean, yeah, you are just falling on your own, how they say, on your own, you know, on your own accord. You are collapsing from within, but ultimately they're going to wind up taking you out from the outside, man. So why are they planning for your demise? Why are they planning to replace you if you're such a good leader, a good world leader, a good person to be having dominion over the earth? Why is that the case, man? Why are the heathen raging and imagine a vain thing, man? All right, they saying, look, man, the Lord ain't going to rule next. Hey, we going to rule next. Once America falls, we going to rule next. But the point is that they planning on ruling after America falls instead of trying to uphold America, man. They see that America was the golden cup in the Lord's hand, but like the scriptures say, you know, they drinking of the wine and they mad. They not happy, all right? They looking at the fact that you sitting over here deceived them the whole time, man. All right, so now how they say the chickens are coming home to roost, man. Now the weak is saying that I'm strong. Now they over here looking at America for what? All the atrocities that you've done unto them, man. All right. Let's go back to this. I could grab this other precept. Let me read that first, matter of fact, and then we'll go back. This is Habakkuk. All right. I'm going to go back to the Isaiah 14 shortly. All right, because this is what the nations are you know, mounting up and saying. Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine. All right, those philosophies again, that BS again. Like I said, going back to that inherited of lies, man. All right, you Americans, modern day Americans have inherited a bunch of lies about your nation, your forefathers, everything. Oh, what's his name? Columbus, Christopher Columbus, your founding fathers, Washington, Benjamin, and all of them. Oh, these are our founding fathers. We got to praise, how do you say, pledge allegiance to America, the Star Spangled Banner, the red, white, and the blue and everything. Hey, man, this is the greatest terrorist organization that has ever been on the face of the earth, man. All right, your forefathers came over here and raped, robbed, and pillaged this here land, man. All right, put people into slavery and captivity, the worst, atrocious captivity there's ever been on the face of the earth, man. The longest captivity there's ever been on the face of the earth as well, too, man. All right, and you people glorify into these things, but guess what? You've inherited lies, man. All right, oh, this was manifest destiny. This was supposed to be like this because we're God's children. Hey, well, if you were God's children, wouldn't the Lord come and save you from these things as the collapse is coming? Nah, man, you actually going into captivity because you were the devil that the Bible speaks about, man. All right, ain't nobody coming to your aid because, look, you, how do I say, you provoke these other nations into anger, you know, basically saying, man, because, look, again, like I said, you inherited lies. If everything was all sweet, if you had a good amount of respect on your name, people were like, you know what, we see America falling, they done so much good for us, we'll go over there and help them out as they falling right about now, man. All right, like the example I gave about old boy in the music industry, when he was broke, they just went in they pocket, they didn't ask no question. They was more mad than the fact that he didn't let them know that he was going a little bit broke, man. They were like, oh man, why didn't you tell us? We would have been bailed you out, man. That's how, you know, if you had a good name amongst yourself, but what? You was inherited lies, man. You've been telling your people these lies the whole time, and they believe these lies, man. The whole time Come to find out you was the damn devil that the Bible speak about, man. You were the one. Well, let's read it right here. Habakkuk 2:5. It says, yea, also because he transgressed about wine, he is a proud man and neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and his death cannot be satisfied. All right? Let me grab this real quick. All right, now the people are starting to wake up to who you are, man. All right, the people now are looking and pointing you out and seeing you for who you really are, man. All right, the books are being opened before the firmament. The words of the Lord or the prophets are going forth, man. And now you're being exposed, man. This is Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. All right, so hey, man, this is the point in time now where Esau is being revealed for being that wicked that he is, man. All right, the one that was given that great sword was who? Esau Edom in the very beginning, man. Isaac, that was part of his blessing. He was going to live by the sword, man. How did Esau put all these other nations into subjection? It wasn't because he made good deals with them. They just all decided to just bow down before him. All right, he heaped all these nations towards him, as we're going to continue reading. How did he get all these nations to, be heaped upon him, man? They didn't just say, hey, man, you know what? Let's make a deal, rock, paper, scissors, or let's just look at each other's credit and see who's the best fit person to rule. No, Esau ran up on you with the by force of the sword, man. He put you into subjection by way of what? Military oppression, man. This is what he wound up doing, man. And again, we're going to read it, but this is why these nations, like I said, man, you inherited these lies, man. If you got everything by so-called righteous dealings, all right, and just from being good people on the face of the earth, man, all right, these nations in a time like this where you collapsing and failing, man, hey, they would prop you up, man. But then instead of them propping you up in a time like this, man, they preparing for your downfall, man. They planning, plotting, and strategizing on replacing your ass, man. All right. Going back, Habakkuk 2 and 5. Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. All right. Revelation 6 and 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. All right, and so, hey, just like we were reading in Habakkuk, which we'll go back to, hey, man, no matter where you go, man, death and hell follows you, man. All right, you don't go to these places to so-called make things better, man. All right, you say you do, but that's part of the devil's deception, man. Oh, we got to go over here with humanitarian aid. We got to spread liberation and democracy. Man, those are the worst words that you can say. You can hear being said about your nation. We going over there to help out with humanitarian aid, man. We going over there with democracy, man. All right, because what always happens, when they go over there to spread humanitarian aid and democracy, man. All right, death and hell follows, man. All right, they did that to Ukraine, man. They went over there in 2014 or something like that. They went over there to so-called spread democracy and things like that. Now, look at the state of Ukraine right about now, man. All right, like the actual civilians, how they living right about now, man. All right, they was perfectly fine before they went over there with that transgressing by their wine, man. All right, death and hell follows you wherever you go, man. All right, but lo and behold, hey, these people are starting to wake up to these things, man. Like I said, you've inherited lies, man. They're not going over there to help all these people, man. I could have this conversation with somebody right now of these full-blown patriotic ass Edomites out here. Or what's going on? Like, hey, man, America over here putting their nose in everybody else. Oh, we gotta go help them out. We gotta go help these folks out. Like, all right, now look. After y'all say y'all going to go help these people out, let's look at Iraq and Afghanistan and them. You had to go over there to help them people out because you had this dictator over there. Look at the state of their country right now versus where it was beforehand, man. Are those people living better or are those people living worse? But then they will double down on their wickedness. All those people just how you say, these people are just savages. They don't know how to live anyway, so it's better that we just go over there and put them in subjection. They said that about the so-called Native American Indians, man. Oh, we had to civilize these people. They was over here killing themselves. Like, well, wait a minute. The water wasn't polluted. The air wasn't polluted. The land wasn't polluted. You didn't have a bunch of psychopaths. Like, you talking about, what do they call it, sacrificing people. Like, yo, look at your children. What your children doing to everybody else's children, man? You know what I'm saying? Look at all these different things you got going on. You got a so-called pandemic going on with mass shooters going on around here, man. So you ain't got no room to be talking about what everybody else was over there doing. Things is in a worse state from when you first brought your little happy red ass over to anywhere, man. All right, like the scriptures say, death and hell always follows you, man. You take peace from the earth, man. This is your whole MO, man. And you being called out for these things because you are the wicked that the Bible speak about, man. And you can no longer hide yourself from these things, man. All right. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 8. And I looked and behold a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto him over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death and with the beasts of the earth. All right, and so that's what Esau wound up doing, man. All right, he was going to kill with the sword and with hunger and with death and the beasts of the earth, man. This is what Esau's out here doing, man. Esau's out here, you know, you got everything is tainted, man, from the food supply, the water supply, you know, the air supply. Everything is tainted out here, and it's all because of what? Esau transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance and turned everything upside down, man. This is the son of perdition, man. This is his whole MO of what he would be doing, man. And now, like this, I keep saying, the chickens are coming home to roost. You reap what you sow, man. You sown all this here wickedness in the earth, and what do you think kind of tree you was gonna reap in return, man? A straight wicked tree, man. And this is what you have to how do I say, to answer for to your children's with, man. All right, because when they ask why are all these bad things happening unto us, hey man, little Timmy, you gotta understand, man, you didn't inherit their lives, man. Your forefathers wasn't all righteous and all good and everything. Why is all these things happening to us? Why is all these things going on? And look, bro, the whole earth is wicked because y'all people did this shit, man. All right, and it's not a so-called why people like, oh, y'all just being racist. Like, who got the power and the infrastructure to do all this shit, man? Who got the power and the infrastructure, the technology to bomb people to hell and back, man? All right, it's y'all. Nobody else is subjecting nobody else like that. Who got the power to change the weather and things like that, man? All right, who's got the power to pollute the whole water systems and things like that? Be drilling and having massive oil spills in the oceans and things like that. Got plastic around all the fish in the ocean. Who's manufacturing all these things? Who's doing all this shit, man? All right, who's the one that's corrupting the minds of the children, man? It's so bad that you over here complaining about these people, man. What they teaching your little third graders in school about, you know, what they can and can't do with their bodies and things like that. It's y'all people that's teaching them that kind of stuff, man. Y'all would have us on a pole lynching our ass if we try to tell y'all how to do anything with y'all. Y'all mad at us for telling y'all to discipline your damn children when they try to go and kill you in your sleep. You're like, hey, well, you need to beat little Timmy ass. How dare you say such and such, so forth. So, hey, man, it ain't us that's doing these things. We ain't the problem of the earth. It's your ass, man. All right? And if it's just us saying these things, how come these nations ain't trying to help your ass out, man? All right, because these nations know what you've done unto them, man. Let's go back to that in Habakkuk, man. Habakkuk 2:5 says, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man and neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and as his death cannot be satisfied. All right, and so, hey, we just read about him, all right, doing these things, man. All right, is his death and his hell everywhere he go. That's what all follows him. Death, hell, sorrow, pain, suffering. All right, anywhere he go, look. Take from day one when he got over there to the last, you know, the current day where he at, man. And the only thing that place has ever seen was pain, suffering, sorrow, rape, robbery, and murder, man. First time he came in contact with the so-called Native Americans, he didn't bring peace and happiness into them people, man. He's got it to these people don't even know who the hell they are to the same day, man. All right, he's put them in reservations, killed off their livestock and things like that, put them in subjection. These people don't even know who they are. That's how so far overkill he did to them, man. Got Jake over here, put them in a subjection so far in a hardcore bondage. They got Stockholm syndrome, man. They want to stay over here with Master and everything else like that, man. This is what you have going on right alongside with that, man. Where's the righteousness in him, man? What righteous thing did he do when he came over here, you know? They would say, oh, he cured these diseases and certain things with his medicine. He's also the one who put these things out here, man. All right, spreading the smallpox to the Native American Indians, giving so-called Negroes syphilis and the Tuskegee experiment and things like this, man. So what kind of credit do you really give him, man? Was he doing more righteousness or more wickedness, man? The more and more we go into this here man's history, this is why they want to cover these things up, man. Because, hey, if you see all the things that he's actually done, man, you uncover all the things that he's done, and he actually kept the archive files of all these things, man. It's not us just making these things up, man. When we tell you that he used us so-called Negro babies for alligator bait, man, they got postcards still archived of what they used to do to us, man. All right, used to barbecue us, picnics, pick a nigga and barbecue his ass, put him up on a pole and set him on fire, man. Cut their rods off and send them to one another, man. This is what your forefathers have wound up doing, man. But now all this here wickedness, you've planted all this here wickedness, and now it's starting to flourish now, man. All right, you've done all these different atrocities to these other nations and bankrupt these other nations and plundered them of all their goods and things like that. Now it's all coming back up upon you, and now all of a sudden you want to, oh, why is all these things happening to us, man? Well, why don't you be honest with yourself, man? You start to believe your own lies, man. Your wickedness has perverted you, man. Your own knowledge has perverted you. You've been lying to yourself. No, we got to go do this because we're just so righteous people. And these are the damn devil, man. All right, now you know your kingdom is coming to an end because you just ruled it in a straight demonic fashion, man. All right, I could go back to the Isaiah 24 that goes into that, but this is why all these things is happening unto you, man. We're gonna come back to the Habakkuk, but Isaiah 24 and let me start at verse 3. It says, the land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for Yahweh has spoken this word. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The haughty people, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. All right. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. And that's why the Lord's got to come and clean this here mess up, because hey, there's a set boundary that you can't pass, man. All right, you come to the end of your so-called rulership. You come to the end of your so-called reign of wickedness, man. Your so-called evil, wicked-ass kingdom is on its last legs, man. All right, and going back to your father's inherited lies and things like that, man. Hey, man, think of it this way. Like I keep saying, if it wasn't so, why isn't nobody standing up to your aid, man? How come your own people don't want to be associated with your own history, man, that you used to glorify over, man? How come your own people don't want to be called by their own names no more, man? All right, how come these other nations are pointing you out? How come your own allies are backing down from you right about now, man? All right, so everybody's trying to jump shit from being off of your how do I say, riding on your coattails of your name, man. All right, hey, Deuteronomy 30:7, man, the Lord's gonna take the curses up off of His people and put them on to our enemies, right? All right, you go back into what, Deuteronomy 28 and around like the 37th something chapter or something, like, or 37th verse, and it talks about being a proverb and a byword and things like that, man. Now just calling him out and for what his history and things like that. He don't want to be associated with these things no more. Why? Because the veil is being lifted now that the whole earth is seeing that this is that man. All right, man, I was just right there. Let me go back to that real quick. Oh well, I'm gonna go back to that in a second because I wanted to read more in that chapter. Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man and neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and as his death cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. And like I said, man, how does he get these people to be gathered unto him, man? He didn't just call and send out an open invitation, fly you out, pay for your room and board and everything else like that. Nah, man, he gathered you. Really, he rode up on your ass, man. And then on top of that, he did what? He put you in subjection, man, by way of what? The force of the sword, man. So, hey, man, this is what he wound up doing, putting everybody else into captivity, man. Ruling over top of the whole earth, man. He who smote the people with a continuous stroke. Again, we're going to get back to it. But, hey, man, this is who we speaking about, man. All right. Verse 6 says, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, and how long to him that laid itself with thick clay. And so, hey, these nations now are starting to say, hey, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. We can go look at the Taiwan situation. All right, China is like, yo, man, stay up out of our backyard, man. Stay up off of our islands. How the hell you trying to tell China what they can and can't do in the South China Sea? God damn it, it's called the South China Sea. Your ass is all the way on the other side of the globe telling them what they can and can't do in the South China Sea, man. All right, and over in Taiwan and everything else. These are their lands, man. How the hell can you dictate to them what they can and can't do, man? All right. You got the Ukraine scenario, man. This ain't none of your business, man. All right, you over here telling these people how they can and can't live their lives up in their own homes, man. All right, how the hell you gonna try to tell it, you know, here, like how we have it here, man? You don't go into another man's house and tell him what he can and can't be feeding his kids, what type of curfew they gonna be having, what kind of things that their kids can be watching on TV. That ain't your kids nor your house for you to be trying to implement these rules for them, man. All right, you need to worry about your own self, worry about your own household, man. All right, you got people that's over here starving in America. You got how you say atrocities being happening from the governments, oppressive governments coming down on their own people and everything else like that, man. You got all these different things, corruption going on over here. All right, weapons of mass destruction going on over here. You got all these things going on in America, but you blame these things on everybody else, man. And yet still you over there in their country. What's this? Not Saudi Arabia. Iraq. They got weapons of mass destruction. Y'all got nuclear bombs, bro. Y'all the only ones that ever used an atomic bomb on any other nation. But yet still, you ain't never found no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, nowhere near in Iraq. Let another country like Russia come over here and say that you got weapons of mass destruction, they're going to take you to war, man. You being in an uproar, man. All right? Talking about you killing your civilians, man. What you got all these so-called Black Lives Matter movements going on around the globe for? Because of the things that Esau's out here doing by way of what the Trayvon Martins, that man named George Floyd and things like that. The whole world is seeing all these different things, man. All right? You starving your people out, man. You just decide to start a war on the other side of the globe, and now what? You just disrupted trade, shut down businesses and things like that. So now, for gas prices going up. So now when it comes down to grocery store prices, you know, food in the grocery store, Hey, the price of all this stuff is going up, man. People can't afford to eat, can't afford to live, can't afford to do all these things. And where's all these things coming from, man? It's a top-down approach, man. But yet and still, lo and behold, you gotta, heap onto you all these other nations by way of what? The force of the sword, man. And going forth in how you say, conquering or colonizing or civilizing other people and everything else like that, man. Hey, man, let's read the next verse. It says, Habakkuk 2:6. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him? It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, and how long to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. All right, hey, man, you keep increasing that which is not yours. You always got your hand in somebody else's cookie jar, man. You always got your nose in somebody else's business, man. And then you further just, devaluing your own currency by printing more and more and more and more and more and more and more money. All right, to the point now where it's like, yo, man, how the hell, you got reports that your IRS is going bankrupt. The only way that you got this society keep going or propping this here stuff up is what you raising the taxes on everyday people so that they can kind of fund it. You robbing Peter to pay Paul, like they would say, man. You taking money out of your regular people's pockets and writing stimulus packages for your own self just to keep creating this here dollar to keep funding your so-called false wars. But ultimately, everybody is backing up off of your American currency and things like that, man. All right. It says, verse 7. It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booty unto them. All right. So, hey, man, this is what you have going on right now. Like I said, going back into the lies, all right, of these forefathers and things like that, man. If you, hold on, give me 1 second. Going back to your forefathers and inheriting these here lies, all right, why is all these nations now, if you were such a holy or righteous country, doing everything in righteousness, and everybody's just praising you for these things, and only the people that don't like you is these haters out here. They hate you because you got freedoms, and they're just jealous because they can't be like you. That's the narrative that they push. The only people around the globe that hate us is they're just haters. They just mad that we got freedom and they don't. They're just jealous because they live under oppressive regimes and everything else like that. You just don't know what's going on around in these countries. Like, nigga, I know what's going on around in these I know what America's doing around these other countries. I know that they plundering and rape, robbing, and murdering their ass. All right, but now, why is it to the point to where you have countries that's calling them out, like Russia? All right, hey, man, stay up out of our back door. Stop arming these people over here on our borders and things like that. You got the same sentiment coming up out of China like that, man. You got the same sentiment coming out of the mouths of your own allies saying, look, man, y'all putting these sanctions on these people that we buying goods from. It ain't looking good for us, man. All right, we about to go economically bankrupt, man. You about to bankrupt the whole goddamn planet. Fucking around with your little agenda and everything, bro. We don't know if we can hold you down no more, man. If you were such a good people, man, going back into your inherited lies, how come your allies are jumping ship right now, man? If you got such a good deal, let's just give it to you in a different example. If you got such I was gonna say the perfect job, why are people quitting? But hey, you know how some people say, I'm such a great worker and everything else like that. I'm the best worker that they got. Well, if you the best worker that they got, why they fire your ass? How come you can't get hired nowhere else? How come nobody want to keep you on a job? If you the best worker that there is, man, you're deceiving yourself, man. You inherited lies, man. You believe that everything that you're doing is so righteous, but hey, you're supposed to judge a tree by its fruits, man. If you were such a good worker, you'd be the top paid person at the job. If they're paying you based off of your the value that you bring to the company and everything, and in a righteousness sake, you can't work for a company and they could just pay you the least amount of money, even though you're very valuable to the company. But hey, your work will speak for itself, man. People will be fighting over you, man. Hey, if this job don't want to pay you this here amount of money for this here work and everything else like that, hey, man, there should be 4 or 5 other companies over here fighting for you to work over there for them. Look, man, you getting paid $60,000, we'll double that, $120,000. Hey, shit, we'll pay you $300,000. Man, we'll pay you $500,000 because you're just that valuable over here, man. That's how we would know that you're the best employee that these people ever had, man. Not because you say it and don't nobody want to hire you and you the first to get fired and everything else like that, man. So you've inherited these here lies about yourself, man. You believed into your own BS that you've been telling yourself, man. Your own, Nahum say it about the multitude of your whoredoms and your witchcraft, which you sell the nations through your whoredoms, man. through your witchcraft, man, through your media and things like that, telling these people in the school systems and everything else like that, man, the land of the free, the only place where all this stuff is going on, and everybody just, no, man, this just got messed up governments and everything else like that around the globe. No, man, look at what you over here doing, man. You're the most oppressive government that there is on the face of the earth, man. What other country do you see this openly invading other countries right about now, man? All right, you know, now you could argue the fact of the whole Russia-Ukraine scenario, but that's a response to a proxy war that you got going on over there, man. All right, and they're begging you to stop, and they're not really even going full force against your ass right about now, man. But nevertheless, you see America take them and they whole NATO allies and invade a whole region of the earth, man. All right, for what? For their own gain, man, for their own riches, man, ill-gotten gains, man. All right, verse 6, Habakkuk 2 and 6, it says, shall they not rise up, shall not all these take up a parable against him? Well, I already read that, but let me just keep reading. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunted proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, and how long to him that ladeth himself with thick clay? Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booty unto them? All right, they're going to suddenly rise up against you, man, and this is what you're starting to see right now, man. Again, going back to the inherited laws, man, if you had such a good name across the earth, why aren't people standing up to help you? And why are people standing up to try to take your position right about now, man? If you're actually all that good of a person, like I gave you the analogy, if you're really the how you say, the best employee, the most valuable employee, how come other companies ain't standing up and sending you letters trying to hire your ass? Hey, man, we'll double your pay. We'll do this and we'll do that, man. In fact, it's the other way around. You at this here deadbeat job where you suspended. They about to fire your ass, lay you off, and you got 1,000 applications into these other jobs and ain't nobody calling you back. You know what I'm saying? You calling up these places, and they got a now hiring sign in the window. You calling up all these places and say, nah, we can't do nothing for you, man. Obviously, your resume don't show forth for that, man. We can look at what Esau's resume is, and it's nothing but what? Rape, robbery, and murder, man. You continue to do it to the same day, man. All right, and the nations are calling you out over these things, man. All right, this is Habakkuk 2 and 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and shall awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booty unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. All right, hey, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. All right, because of what you've been going around doing. So again, going back to those inherited laws and everything else like that, man. All right, you wasn't going over there actually spreading democracy, spreading peace, spreading humanitarian aid and everything else like that, man. You was over here overthrowing governments, man. You was over here stealing lands, man, oppressing people in their heritage, man, oppressing people in their own borders, man, removing the borders, removing the people, man. All right, stirring up things, changing the names of the people and changing their, how you say, their again, their heritage, more or less, say their cultures and things like that, man. Spreading this here wickedness over into these different cultures, and then what? Now you got these nations all turned out, man. You got nations where their divorce rates was down low for a long ass time, man. All right, children being born out of wedlock was down for a long ass time, and all of a sudden you bring your so-called freedoms and democracies over there. Now all of a sudden you got divorce rates just skyrocketing, man. Children being born out of wedlock skyrocketing, man. People being brought up without fathers in their households, just with no guidance, man. The whole societies are collapsing around the globe, man. Because of what? The things that you're spreading, the seeds that you're planting around in these different nations, man. Because of your doings, man. All right. It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood and for the violence of the land. Slack here. This page is kind of ripped up. It says, because of men's blood and for the violence of the land and of the city and all that dwell therein. All right. So, hey, man, this is you know what they're gonna come out to recompense you for, man. All right. It says, woe to him that covet a evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil, man. All right. And this is what you want to. Well, let me read the next verse. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. All right, so, hey, you brought this upon your own self, man. Like I said, you've inherited these laws, man, because of your doings and everything else like this. This is why nobody want to, hey, man, this is like, look, you got that victim-like mentality, man. The problem is you done went out and applied for all these credit cards and loans and everything else like that and ran it all up, right? And then decided to pay none of it back, all right? And now all of a sudden, and you don't want to pay none of pay none of your bills or nothing like that. Now all of a sudden they want to cut off your credit cards, evict you from your house, and you want to play the victim role. Man, they just hating, man. They want to evict me because I'm a this or I'm a that, and I'm in this category, I'm in that category. They just hating. They're oppressive, man. They're haters, man. They cutting off my credit card because of X, Y, and Z. You explaining all these other things, but you're not explaining the fact that you ran up a credit card debt and decided not to pay back none of the money, man. All right, you didn't name everything else but that. All right, but lo and behold, this is what Esau's doing, man. He want to blame everybody else on the whole earth while everything is crumbling, but his own doings, man. He want to sit there and blame everybody else for his own downfalls, his own shortcomings, but he don't want to look in the mirror to see the things that he's wound up doing on the face of the earth, man. All right, he don't want to have this conversation with somebody else as well, too. Like, yo, man, it's not looking good for them on an international scale amongst their people. All right, these people about to leave them out there to dry. You know, they're allies, and the person I was speaking to, they was like, nah, they ain't gonna leave them out there to dry. It's more like America is forcing these people out the damn out the window, man. And I'm like, yeah. You know, it's funny that, you know, you being an Edomite, you seen these whole things about your own country, your own, you know, most time these damn Edomites be proud, but hey, man, that goes to show forth where we at, measuring the time diligently, that we at the end of all these things, man, to where, hey, man, even they see it, man. You got to be some kind of proud to see that these things is not going in your favor right about now, man. All right, let me get back to this real quick and let me grab this real quick. Isaiah 33. And was it Isaiah 30? No, it's Isaiah 33. Is it Isaiah 33? Yeah, Isaiah 33 and 1. It says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled. All right, you know, and that's what America was doing, was out there plundering and spoiling, man. All right, you know, you came over and took America, the resources, took Jake and everything else like that, man. And you decided, hey, man, we want to branch off from the UK and everything else like that because we want our so-called freedoms and everything else like that. We want to so-called break free and everything else like that from this oppressive government, this oppressive regime. Hey, what'd you do? You came over here and stole another man's land. All right, you oppressed him in his own heritage, in his own borders. You brought Judah over here for slaves on cargo slave ships, all right? And then guess what? You put your own people back into subjection again, man. All right, so what the hell you got going on, man? All right, you over here, and this is how you deal with these people, man? All right, you made, I forgot how many treaties it was that you made with Gad, all right, the so-called Native Americans. But guess what? I know how many of them you broke. You broke every last one of them, man. Every last treaty that you made with Gad, you wound up breaking, man. All right, all these different things, you transgressing by your wine, man. All right, you dealing treacherously with these other people, man. Spoiling folks that didn't even spoil you, man. You came over and then, look, after you spoiled over on this side, you went back over to the other side and spoiled that side, man. All right, it's taken from these other nations that was living in their own, in their own peace, man. You had to go over there and start stealing from them as well, man. When they over there dwelling in their own lands, minding their own business, you got to go over there and steal their resources. They found a new resource, like, I forgot what it was in Africa they just recently found. Was it gold or, I don't know if it was gold or if it was, some kind of mineral or metal that they found over there, man. Hey, man, now all of a sudden you got all this plundering in Africa going on right about now, man. All right, but lo and behold, you know, this is Esau, man. All right, he's never satisfied, man. All right, he got the whole planet Earth under his thumb, and he got to have every single inch of it, man. It's like, look, bro, I done took over the whole house, you know what I'm saying? But you can't let me just have this here one little corner. I can't, look, can I just be at peace at the dinner table in my one seat? Can I just have my own personal seat? Nah, bro, that seat mine too, bro. You gonna have to stand up. Matter of fact, you can't even stand right there on that carpet. That's my piece of the carpet too. You can't even use that plate, man. You can't even use this here paper plate, man. But like, bro, well, what can I have, man? But lo and behold, this is Esau, man. He got to have everything. And even when he do have everything, he's still not even satisfied with that, man. All right, he's as death and as hell and cannot be satisfied, man. It says, woe to him, woe to thee that spoilest and that was not spoiled, and that dwelt treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. So, hey, you hear the story about the so-called natives of how, you know, when Esau came over here, you know, Esau didn't know how to survive on this here land. All right, but what did the Northern Kingdom do for Esau? All right, we're gonna show you how to. We're gonna give you, you know, how to keep you warm over here. We're gonna give you, you know, food to survive with. And then we're gonna show you how to plant and how to farm over here for you to be able to survive. And we'll even give you your own land over here, bro. Like, even though you encroaching on our land, we'll give you some land for you to sit over here and thrive on and everything else like that, and show you how to farm this bad boy. But what did Esau do? He found out, figured, he learned everything, sat there quietly, and then guess what? Plotted on Jake, man, and took everything from Jake, man, and then put Jake into subjection, man. Then stole their name, stole their land, and stole their heritage, and told them, nah, we the Americans and everything else like that. They was just some savages. They didn't know what the hell was going on. We civilized them. Like, how the hell you civilized them when they taught you how to survive over here, man? You remember when we found your ass in the mountain ranges in which you was doing, man? All right, and it's funny because This is a topic that's coming out right now, and these little YouTube videos. You got these some of these YouTube comedians. Got this nigga name with the big eyes, Schuler King or whatever. I seen a video the other day, last week or some shit like that, where he was like, there was a sign or something. He was talking about one of his employees said something to the extent to I only bathe like once a week. And man, you go down in the comment sections and everything. You could tell who is who just by reading the comment sections. Again, going into couple different precepts about like thou art sent to somebody with a strange speech or strange language, you know, talking like Ezekiel chapter 3, you know, talking about, hey, I'm gonna send you to a nation out of a hard language or a strange speech. Then also Deuteronomy 28, where it says, I will send a nation from afar, you know, whose language thou shalt not understand. All right, you know, going into these things, we don't understand how Esau get down, man. You know what I'm saying? So you could read in those comment sections about how dude was like, his co-worker said something about that they only bathe like once a week, if that, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes twice a week. You could read the comment sections of who was, you didn't even have to see no pictures, no names, no nothing. You knew who was Jake and who was Esau. Jacob would have like, man, what the fuck? Like, what you mean you don't bathe but once a week, man? You gotta bathe, you know, you gotta constantly bathe, at least daily, you know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of shit is this is going on? But then you see Esau like, well, scientifically, if you put all this your stuff together and everything else like that, you put all these chemicals on you, it's actually bad for your skin, it's drying your skin out. And I'm like, talking about the nigga who looked like he's 65 at the age of 30 versus Jake, when they say black don't crack, man, there's a reason, bro. But going back to their initial statement, when we found their ass, man, oh man, these heathens, man, they was wearing the same damn clothes forever. You see Jake be changing clothes multiple times out the day, man. You know what I'm saying? When we was younger and everything like that, you come home, you got school clothes, come home, you got your play clothes, then you got your pajamas on and everything else like that, man. You see these damn Edomites wearing the same damn clothes every damn day. Like, bro, didn't you wear that shirt yesterday? Yeah, but you know, I changed my, you know, hey, I didn't really go anywhere, man. I didn't really go out or do anything else like that. So I didn't have to, you know, everything is all good, man. I wear the same shirt 3 times a week, you know, 3 times out the week, man. I'm like, bro, y'all gonna have to bathe. Y'all gotta do something out here, man. But lo and behold, hey, again, going into, you know, not that strange speech and everything else like that, but going back into, you know, us actually civilizing them, you know, these laws that they told about us and everything else. Oh, we gotta civilize these folks. Bro, we taught you how to bathe, bro. Taught you how to be, how you call it, hygienic, man. Seen another one of those little strange videos, not going too far off topic, how they was talking about some, hey, man, boy, I died laughing at Esau. Esau said, hey, man, you're not supposed to wash your chicken before you cook it, man, because all the bacteria and the germs gonna go down into your sink, and it's gonna, your sink gonna be dirty. I'm like, hold up, nigga. Esau, bro. We don't eat out the damn sink, bro. We eating the chicken. So if the germs gonna go into the sink, nigga, we not eating out the sink, bro. You know what I'm saying? We eating this chicken, bro. So what the hell? Hey, nah, we don't rinse our chicken off. We don't wash our chicken. Like, bro, kind of shit you got going on. Again, same time there, you can see who is who just based off of the reactions to certain things. Like, bro, like my grandparents didn't live in such and such. They ain't never got no sickness from washing their chicken and everything else like that. But y'all over here with y'all E. coli and shit like that, bro. What y'all got going on, bro? Like, what kind of shit is this? But hey, that's Jake versus Esau, man. 2 different manner of people, man. That was inside her womb. You know, just going into, you know, the descriptions of these people and everything else like that, man. So, hey, when we tell you about these things that we're reading about, it's not because coming from a so-called hatred. You just fit the description, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, there's a difference between the police so-called quote-unquote profiling you. You know what I'm saying? It's somebody giving a description to somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, there was a dude walking around with an orange and blue, orange shirt on, blue pants on, a huge afro. You know what I'm saying? 35 gold chains on, and he got a little Rottweiler with him or something like that, walking down the block. Somebody called and gave that description. The police rolled up on you, and you fit that description. Like, bro, you fit the description. We're not racially profiling, bro. Like, how many people walking around looking like goddamn, like, looking like this out here on the block, man? But lo and behold, hey, man, people will get mad and upset about what we saying. But look, hey, if the shoe fits weird, man. All right, if you fit these prophecies, and that's how it is, man. All right, just like how we fit these prophecies, man, we can't change that, man. All right, we couldn't change it. We had to go into captivity, man. All right, this is all a part of our story, and guess what? It just had to be played out, man. All right, so let's get back into this Isaiah chapter 33 and 1. It says, and this dude over here smoking, and this shit is like bothersome. It says, woe, turn this stinking ass nigga. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. All right, and that's, you know, like I was saying, man. Hey, you have people that want up showing you how to farm, showing you how to survive over here in the land that you didn't really know about, with the environments and things like that. You know what I'm saying? How to make your crops to grow and everything else like that. And what did you wind up doing to them, man? You killed off their food supply. All right, you poisoned them, and then wound up killing them all off, man. All right, killed off them and their offsprings, and took their children and put them in what do you call it? Not internment camps, but re-education centers and everything else like that, man. All right, but hey, this is how you want to treat them, man. And then what did you want to do to Judah, man? You brought Judah over here, had them on the slave plantations, and what did they do for you, man? Provided you with unlimited wealth that you didn't have to pay for. All right, farmed on your little plantations and everything else like that. How did you repay them? All right, you want to beating and lynching them, man. Once you was had to let them go and everything else like that, you did all kind of horrors and atrocities to them, man. All right. Isaiah 33:7. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and that dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. All right, when thou shalt cease to spoil, that's when the spoil is going to come, man. All right, and guess what? Like the scripture also say, when thou, let's just say it now. This is whoa, too far. This is Job chapter 20 and verse 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency. Let me turn this way, Salakia, because oh boy, got the whole block funky. It says, in the fullness of Job 20 and 22, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, and every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. All right, and like I was speaking about earlier about them inheriting these here laws, man. All right, you got these other nations that's about to come and spoil you because of the atrocities you want to do unto them, man. All right, because thou hast spoiled many people, many nations, and everything else like that. Now all the hands of the wicked is coming up upon you right about now, man. All right, when he's how's it say? When he's about to fill his belly, all right, when he's about to implement his new world order, when he's about to get his cease from plundering, cease from dealing treacherously, cease from going around and how do I say, taking up of all the resources, man. You pretty much got all the resources in your hands, man. You pretty much, like they say with the media companies, like all the media companies is owned by 6 people or 6 corporations. All these different corporations is owned by a handful of other corporations and things like that, man. They got the whole world pretty much in the palms of their hands, man. All right. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So when he's about to fill his belly, when he's about to be full with these things, man, that's when he's about to cast it down upon him. When he's about done, like how does it say over here? It says in Isaiah 33 and 1, it says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealt treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. And when thou cease to spoil, all right, or when thou about to fill thy belly, when thou cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. So now you got a time frame where now they're making all these so-called inclusive laws and including everything and including everybody. And oh, we got to do we got to bring everybody in, and you can't offend this, you can't offend that. Because why? Esau didn't wind up doing all these evil, atrocious things to everybody else. Now he's about done from spoiling. Now he wants to create laws so where you can't do the same things to him, man. All right, they had different laws and things like that when it was coming up out of his favor. Now all of a sudden we gotta make this now illegal because now they can use this against us. Now they can do these different things up against us. We don't want to speak on certain things because then they'll clip the videos for these things. But hey, when it's time when these things are starting to fall back upon you and becoming a snare unto you, now all of a sudden you want to so-called reverse the so-called the decisions on certain of these things, man. Now you want to try to make an end to these things because why? You didn't heaped up upon you all these damn treasures, man. And now you don't want somebody to do the same thing unto you as you didn't did unto them. Hey, like speaking on those what they call them what they call them people, those not conquerors, but basically we'll use the word conquerors and things like that when they there's a different word I'm looking for, when they was they came and they not conquered the land, but basically we'll just use the word conquerors and things like that, man. They came and they conquered the land and everything else like that, you know what I'm saying? They came and oppressed everybody else. Hey, when they was doing that, they was all in their pride and their pride and their glory and things, but hey, they wouldn't have that same energy if when the Lord come and do the same thing to them, take and put them into captivity. Now all of a sudden they got a problem with that. Oh no, let's not talk about slavery no more. What y'all talking about slavery? This hate and hate. No, wait a minute. When y'all was enslaving everybody else, it was all fine and dandy. Y'all was pushing and promoting that, man. But now when the Lord's about to come and put your ass into captivity, now it's a big problem, man. All right. Job 20 and 22. 23, it says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fear of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. All right, so hey, when he's about to make it into his spoiling, into his dealing treacherously, into his rape, robbery, and murder, and plundering, and things like that, that's when the Lord's about to make it into him, man. All right, but look, this is what he's trying to stop, man. You see, everything's like, look, we didn't, when they say it's fair game, you can go out there and claim everything that you want to claim. Now we didn't claim everything. Now all of a sudden, hey, man, we got to change rules now. Can't nobody claim nothing else no more because, I already got everything, and I don't want nobody to claim none of this stuff from me no more, man. All right, but hey, it's the end all be all. Like I said, look around. You see everything is that you've so-called accomplished and put into your belly. Now you're about to, let's go read up a couple verses. Job 20:19, it says, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away a house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. All right, so hey, ultimately, hey, he's starting to feel that he didn't drink too much. He drinking from the bottle too hard, hitting the bottle too hard. Now all of a sudden it's like, hey, man, you went from partying and woo spirit to now all of a sudden his stomach started turning. Man, maybe I shouldn't have drank all that, man. Maybe I shouldn't have drank so fast, man. Maybe I shouldn't have had too many of these damn shots, man. Now all of a sudden I don't feel like moving because I got that rumbling in my stomach, man. I'm about to throw up all over everybody, man. This is what you got going on right now. Let's continue reading. Verse 20. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly, and he shall not save that which he had desired. All right, so hey, all the things that you want to plunder from the rest of the earth and everybody else, man, you're not gonna be able to how do I say, keep that down. You're not gonna be able to keep all those goods, all those riches, man. You're gonna wind up having to repay back all those things. What's that, verse 18? I skipped a verse. I think it's, let me go to verse 18. It says, that which he had, Job 20:18, that which he labored for shall he restore. He shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be. He shall not rejoice therein. So hey, going back into these things, all the things that you wind up swallowing down, man, you're gonna wind up having to pay it all back, man. You're gonna wind up having to regurgitate all those things back up. You're gonna have to wind up so-called refunding all those things, man. It's like a so-called business that's got a scheme or a scam that's going on, and you've extracted all this here money from certain people. Then now all of a sudden I done got $300 billion from all these people. But then look, now you got to pay back in the damages and everything else like that. Was it really worth it? You got to refund all these people the $300 billion back. Plus you got to pay another $200 billion in debt and everything else like that in restitution. Was it really worth the scheme, man? You brokered it when you started off with, man. And so this is the scenario that you're looking at right now, man. All right, as everything is falling and crumbling around you. All right, let's get back to I was reading in that Isaiah. I was gonna read Isaiah 24, but get this Isaiah 14 because I've been holding on to this for a second. Going back to this Isaiah 14. All right, it says, "Thou shalt take," Isaiah 14:4. All right, it says, "Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor ceased and the golden city ceased?" All right, because hey, they thought that they was gonna go on forever, man. How all of a sudden is everything, all the things that you've labored for, all the oppression, there was an article I read not too long ago. It was talking about how you got these other nations. So for instance, you have articles saying about how America spends way more money on their military than their defense budget. They spend more on their defense budget than like the next 7 to 9 nations combined. But then you have these other nations that are becoming way more sophisticated and superior to America, spending way less money on their defensive infrastructure. So for instance, you have I believe it was China. They say that for every dollar that China spends, America has to spend $20 to get the same outcome. All right, so hey, how is the golden city ceasing, man? How the hell you spend so much money on these things and then you getting behind on all these things, man? How is it you spend so much money on this propaganda and all these things that's coming out the woodwork and the truth is coming out, man? How are you spending so much money, printing all this here money that's so-called injecting to your economy and your economy still failing, man? How are all these things happening all at once, man? All right, it's almost like a mystery. It's like no matter what we do, we can't never get up out of these things, man. All right, it's like they're in they're falling into a bottomless pit, man. And no matter what they do, it's just, every move that you make is just speeding up that descent, man. All right. Isaiah 14:4 says, "Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor ceased and the golden city ceased? Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. All right, so hey, it's the Lord that's wound up doing all these things, man. Because ultimately, hey, it's not from a so-called outside force, man. These other nations hadn't plundered you as of onto this here point, man. The other nations hadn't come up upon you and saying, hey, look, man, you know, we got to take them out and everything else like that, man. Nah, man, it's the Lord that's working on the minds of these kings and making them make better decisions than you, man. Having them doing better trade deals than you, man. Having them come together and band together on certain topics and certain situations, man, is which is making you obsolete in all these different things, man. Cutting you out of certain deals, man. Hey, you know what? Let's set up a BRICS nation, man, because one day we might have to break away from America, man. All right, let's set up this here situation and these here things going forth because, hey, man, one day this here place ain't gonna be here, man. All right, so hey, it's ultimately it's the Lord that's got the angels, more or less to say, working on the minds of these here kings to make these here decisions for what? To play out His will, to play out His outcome, man. To bring forth his how do I say, His ultimate will, man. Because hey, at the end of the day, the Most High is the one that rules in the kingdom of men. All right, the promotion don't come from the east to the west. All right, but from the Most High, man. The Most High is the one that's gonna prop up these kingdoms and take them down in His own time frame, man. All right, and call Halal Yahweh Shem Yahushua. He got this damn bum from over here, smoking on a goddamn block, man, funking up the whole goddamn neighborhood with his old cigar or whatever the hell he was smoking. God damn. But anyway, nevertheless, you know, sometimes you get these demons. I don't even understand why he stopped and sat down. But nevertheless, man, give me a second. Anyway, hey, that's the damn devil though, polluting of the whole block, man. He got the whole block to be on. Or a matter of fact, he was a little bit far down, but that shit done polluted the whole damn block. But hey, going into the spirit of how, you know, tainting everything and everything else like that and turning everything upside down and polluting of everything, man, it's the same thing, man. The same one that goes around and do all these things. Look, he got another goddamn Edomite right here riding a bike with no goddamn seat on there. Babylon, the great boy. Straight confusion riding around this bad boy, man. Confusion all over the place, man. All right, confusion on confusion on confusion. All right, but hey, you know, hey, it's not looking good for these damn Edomites out here, man. It's not looking good for your kingdom. It's not looking good for all these things, man. But you ask yourself why these things are happening. These are the reasons why it's happening, man. All right, all your atrocities, your wickedness, the things you've done on the earth, man. All right, now they're all coming home to roost. All right. Going back to this Isaiah 14 and 4. It says, "Thou shalt take up this parable against this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruleth the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth." So, hey, man, you know, it says, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, man. So you over here just beating the nations, not because of none that the nations did, just because you want to just be a damn tyrant, man. All right, you just want to go over and invade these nations for what reason? Like I said, we can go back to, Iran. All right, you know, you blamed, well, you had the pretext of the event in New York City, where most people just thought that, you know, because eventually, like, immediately right after that event happened, you want to go over into Iraq. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people was believing it was off of that. But then all of a sudden, he was like, well, nah, well, what did he have to do with that scenario? Well, he ain't had nothing to do with that scenario. Well, why'd y'all go over there? Oh, for weapons of mass destruction. Well, did y'all find any weapons of mass destruction in the 20 years you was over there? Well, nah. So then what the hell did you go over there for? We just went and smote him with a continual stroke, man. Out of wrath and anger, just because, man. Just because we wanted to go over there and steal the resources over there. Just because they didn't do nothing to us. You know, we just wanted to go over there. Well, what did Afghanistan do to you? Oh, Afghanistan didn't do anything to us, man. We just wanted to go over there and steal all the opium plants, or the poppy plants, and extract opium from them to sell some opium drugs over here in America, man. That's the only reason we did that, man. All right, now you got a war on drugs, or a drug epidemic that's going on over here because of your own doings, man. All right, over what? Over profit and pride, man. All right, you want to gain more and more money, man. You're doing this out of anger, out of spite, not because, you know, oh, I got to go get some get back, or I got to go back and go get some, we got to recompense these people for what they done to us. Nah, man, you doing this just because you the damn devil, man. You just wake up, decide you want to go. What happened? What did Ukraine and Russia do to you for you to go over there and stir up a hornet's nest over into that region? They ain't do nothing unto you, man. What is Russia complaining about right now? NATO over there encroaching on their borders, man. Expanding around about their nation, man. What did they do to you to make you have to keep expanding towards their border? Well, nothing. We just don't want them to. Well, it ain't that they don't want them to do nothing. They just want to go and invade their country, man, so they can have absolute control over the whole earth, man. So this is what you have. This is what you have. How do I say? Going on in the the eyes of this here world, man. All right, you have Esau being exposed, all right, for being the wicked that he is, man. All right, Esau is the one that's going throughout the four corners of the earth, taking peace from the earth. All right, based off of what? Him just being a damn wicked, man. All right, there's no, how you say, there's no real MO. There's no, like, when you say, why is there racism between the so-called white man and the black man? Well, it ain't quite like that, man. It's because Esau has a perpetual hatred over Jacob because of the birthright, man. I mean, it was prophesied that the elder was going to serve the younger, but hey, how it played out, he sold his own birthright, man, because of his own doing. It ain't nothing that Jake did to Esau that make Esau hate Jake. It's just Esau just a damn hater like that, man, and it's just in his spirit to be that, because he was created to be the wicked, man. What did these other nations do to Esau to make him want to go over there and put them in subjection? Nothing. He's just the damn devil, man. He was going to take peace from the earth. He got to fulfill his destiny, man. This is what he was supposed to be doing from birth, man. There's going to be a devil that's going to be played out in the, just like when you watch a movie, man. What made the bad guy become the bad guy in the movie, man? Well, they don't have to explain all that. He was just, simplest term, the writer of the movie created him to be the bad guy. He was going to be the bad guy so that the good guy could shine. The Most High created his ass. Hey, the scriptures say, the Lord created all things for himself, even the wicked for the day of destruction, man. So, hey, the Lord created his ass for this, the day of doom, man, for his own downfall, man. The Lord has created him for these things that he's, how do I say, using him as a tool for in these latter days, man. All right, first and foremost, to punish Jake. All right, and also build him up in the sight of all these different nations. So when the Most High take him down, all right, it's gonna immediately snap into the minds of these other nations. Oh shit, we gotta be we in subjection already, because this nigga that we couldn't take out in the face of the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody came and humbled his ass. So what if we couldn't beat him? How can we beat the one that put him into subjection, man? So we're gonna just bow our head and we're gonna go into captivity. We're gonna go over there to them with open arms, with gold and silver on our backs and our children, man. All right. So hey, everything has its purpose, and this is what Esau was created for, their purpose, man. But ultimately, hey man, we're seeing that his kingdom is coming to naught, man. We're seeing his days being numbered. All right. It says, verse 7, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir tree rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellows come up against us. All right, so hey, these nations are going to be rejoicing once Babylon falls, man. They're going to be able to be at ease, at rest, man, because hey, again, what nation is going through and invading and plundering any of these other nations, man? What was the last nation that China went in and invaded, man? It was the last nation that Japan or Russia, I mean, well, you could say, the Ukraine, but really, in reality, that's a response. They on the defense over there. But, for you simple-minded people out there, you're like, see, they invaded Ukraine. Like, all right, well, whatever. But what are these other nations? Iran, North Korea. What nations have you seen invade another nation, man? All right, you got North Korea and South Korea that the North Korea don't like South Korea because they done sold out to Esau over here. All right, and they got them putting arms up on their border and then threatening them. But when have you seen North Korea just run up in South Korea and start invading and bombing the hell out of their ass, man? You don't see these things happening. So look, at the end all be all, you have to ask yourself, man, why are these things happening? Why are these so-called things happening to these people to the point to where it's like, hey, man, or once this here place falls, these people, how do I say, these other nations, what do you think that their so-called tone is going to be once America fall, man? You think that they're going to be sitting over here sad about these things, man? Now, granted, the scripture do say that they're going to be crying, for the, what they seeing from afar off. But, hey, man, they're going to be, thinking about the trade that they're going to be losing from that, the great whore. But ultimately, it's when it comes to safety, all right, and peace, they're not going to be worried about that because, their oppressor is this here nation, man. They're like, finally, man, we ain't got to worry about, hey, it's the movie Friday all over again, man. With Debo and them. You know what I'm saying? After Debo got knocked out, man, the whole block was able to sleep at night, man. And finally, this nigga got knocked out, man. He can't be bullying us on the block no more. He can't be Deboing us no more, man. You know what I'm saying? Or that movie, Training Day. You know what I'm saying? Where Denzel Washington wound up getting beat up at the end of the movie, man. The whole block was like, nah, bro, you got to fight your own fight, man. You got to be on your own, man. Nobody coming to your aid, man. And everybody is happy once you look, finally, this man been extorting us the whole time. Over here, I'll put cases on all you bitches. Now we can finally live our own life without this nigga over here on our ass, man. But look, this is how it's gonna be when America falls down, man. The nations are gonna rejoice at that, man, because now they're gonna be able to be at rest, man. Now they're gonna be at peace. And once Jake getting rulership, man, the nations are really gonna rejoice, man, because we're gonna rule over them, and it's gonna be a righteous rulership, man. All right, things are gonna be brought back to normal, man. Not gonna worry about pollution in the air. Not gonna worry about nations ideologically subverting your nation and poisoning your nation and having what they call coup d'etats. And yeah, we're gonna subvert the people by having a how you call it, oh man, it's about to start pouring. We're not gonna have a nation that's over here with their how you call it, ideological subversion, but your propaganda. We ain't gotta worry about them propagandizing our people and having them overthrowing our government and collapsing our stuff and internal spies and agents and things like that. We ain't gotta worry about that, man, because these people want the prosperity of the whole planet Earth, and we're gonna all be at peace. It's not gonna be no more wars, man. So they're gonna be rejoicing when we get into to power, man. And they're gonna be rejoicing when Esau falls out of power, man. Why, again, going back to them inheriting lies, if they were so good, how come ain't nobody trying to strive for you to continue to stay in power, man? Why is everybody just over here happy for you to be able to fall out of power, man? How come everybody's jockeying for position as far as why do the heathen rage and imagine the vain thing? Why are they preparing for your downfall right now, man? All right, you got to ask yourself all these different questions, because look, at the end all be all, hey, this is coming to the end of the line for Esau, man. All right, and now look, you see the power shift and the paradigm change in things where it's you know, I didn't even read that. I'm still holding it. Let me read this real quick. 2 Ezra 6 and 7. It says, he answered me, then answered I and said, which shall be the part and asunder of times, or when shall be the end of the first, or the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him. It says, Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So, hey, man, the nations are starting to see these things, man. And what do you see going on, you know, through the spirit amongst these other nations, man? You seeing what? Esau being so-called ousted and put out, man. People stop following after him. People stop trying to be after him and doing the things that he's doing. And what? You seeing people picking up the ways of Jake, man. People starting to follow Jake and putting Jacob on high right about now, man. You seeing people standing up, not to say they wholly standing up for Jake, but hey, you starting to see Jake more or less, and the ways of Jake being embraced, more or less to say. And not saying that, you know, Jake is in a righteous spirit or a righteous state at this point in time, but, you know, that vibration is going like, nah, we'd rather, you know, there was a point in time where people wanted to be these Edomites, but now these people want to be what? Jakes, man. All right? You're seeing more and more of these nations, women's, not just Esau, but these other nations, women's, all right, coming and flocking to Jake. Beforehand, hey, it was like, you know, some nations, you know, they would secretly do these things, but now they openly doing these things nowadays, man. All right, openly now they want to be with these Jakes and everything else like that, man. But hey, man, this is just going forth to show forth that the paradigm shift that's going on right now, man. Esau's falling out of power. The golden city is ceasing. All right, and Jake, you know, the Lord is building up the breaches between Jake, man, putting them back together, man, putting that flesh back upon their skins, man. All right, let's continue reading this Isaiah 14 and 9. It says, "Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations." All right, you know, that's what, you know, I was just speaking about. You're not going to have that going on in the kingdom of heaven, where you have propaganda, subversion, all right, regime change, coup d'etats, man. All right, all this is the shit that Esau do, man. All right, instead of just going head to head up with another nation and just overthrowing their ass like that, man. All right, how is it they got a proxy war with Russia right now in the Ukraine, man? All right, when the Ukrainian people are Russians, man. All right, what did he wind up doing? He wound up going over there with his propaganda and subversion, man. All right, and overthrowing a government and putting up his own puppets, man. He didn't go in there and invade them with no weapons and everything else like that, man. He ultimately just went over there and subverted them ideologically, man. Brainwashed them, man. Set up his own puppet, made them believe these things, and then even on the world stage, man. Oh, the people are begging for this. The people are asking for this, when the majority of people aren't asking for that, man. They're asking for the opposite. They want to be a part of Russia, man. But yet and still, hey, man, you know, that propaganda is that that, how you say that Babylonian juice, man. All right, that wine, man, transgressing by that wine. People believe that, man. You ask the majority of these Americans, who's the bad guy in the scenario? Oh, it's the Russians is the bad guy, man. America's over there to Captain Save-A-Ho. But no, lo and behold, it's the opposite, man. All right. Let's continue on. It says, verse Isaiah 14:10, it says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? All right, and this is another thing that you have going on right now, where these other nations are pointing the finger at America right about now, man. All right, they over here saying, certain things like, back in the olden days, they wouldn't dare question America, wouldn't dare go back upon America, wouldn't dare do a lot of different things like that, man. But nowadays, they're looking at America as like, look, bro, you the problem, man. All right, and what you gonna do about it? We can call you out about your atrocities, the wickedness that you're doing. You have China condemning America over the Russia-Ukraine scenario. Of course, you got Russia condemning them, but they in a conflict. But let's just say China, you got them condemning them, and the majority of the BRIC nations is condemning them. But look, none of these nations are afraid of what America can do to them as far as economically or anything else like that, because it's like, look, bro, you become weak as we pretty much on an even playing field now. What you gonna do about it now, man? We got Russia as our ally nowadays, and they can help us out with all these things. So I ain't really tripping over what you got going on, bro. So hey, man, you can do whatever you want to go and do. Say whatever you want to go and say. Put whatever kind of sanctions on us. We got a way around all these things nowadays, man. We're not really worried about those things, man. Even to the point now to where their own allies are saying the same things. It's like, look, man, all right, if we don't listen to you, what you gonna do about it? It's we stuck between a rock and a hard spot. Either we listen to you and we fail economically, or we don't listen to you, put sanctions on us, and you try to bankrupt us economically. But look, we got this other system we can go upon, man. All right, so hey, all these other nations are now saying, are you become weak as we? You don't really have a decided matter in this here, this back and forth, man. Before, these other nations, they didn't have no room to talk, man. Like, well, what you gonna do if you don't do what we say? Look, you can't survive on your own. You need us. But now these other nations are saying, look, now we can survive without your ass. So I mean, we don't care what the hell you got going on right now, man. All right, the whole NATO agreement with Turkey, all right, and what was it, Finland and Sweden, all right, they was all worried about what Turkey was gonna say, because Turkey had a veto. Like, look, bro, beforehand it was always whatever America say goes, man. But we trying to get with our negotiations, and we want our things to be heard, our voice to be heard at the table, and everything else like that. Normally they don't want to hear about what the hell y'all got to say at y'all end of the table. But Turkey was like, look, bro, if y'all don't want to hear what we got to say at our end of the table, we're going to veto this shit, man. You're not going to get your little role. Normally, those nations would be like, oh, man, what kind of repercussions we going to have to face if we don't? You know what I'm saying? But right now, Turkey's in a position where it's like, look, man, we already got the S-400, which you don't want us to have. All right, well, what you going to do about it? You going to come over here and take it from us? We can shoot your planes out the sky. You going to come invade us or something like that now? All right, if we keep buying weapons from... What are you going to do about it, man? You going to kick us out of your group? That's just one more enemy that you got on the playing board than what you had from day one, man. So, hey, it's either you get with the program, or now we in a position to negotiate like how you were. All right, America was the only one that was able to make people make moves and everything else like that, dictate what they was going to do. But now the tables are starting to turn on them, man. All right. Isaiah 14:10, it says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? It says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, and the worm is spread under thee, and the worms covered thee. All right? And, hey, that's the point in time where we at right now in America as well, too, man. Your whole infrastructure and everything is crumbling around you, man. All right? Your economy is collapsing, man. All right? Your buildings, your cities, a lot of these major cities are all being, boarded up for sale. All these buildings are for sale in empty, vacant lots, man. All right? You got this building over here where a couple of these little... how you call them, little suites in some of these buildings is up for lease right now, man. Typically, they would be all, how do I say, fully established, man. All right, but lo and behold, hey, you got a lot of these buildings that's like predominantly empty. A lot of these apartment buildings are empty. People can't afford to rent there. All right, you got a lot of these downtown areas is flooded with homeless people, tent cities, and everything else like that, man. So, hey, the Golden City is coming to a grinding halt, man. All right, America is what they call CTD, circling the drain, man. All right, you're going down swiftly, man. All right, this is a measurement of your so-called length and rulership, man. Just like when you go back to the Roman Empire, man, the decay of the society, the decay of the economy, the decay of the infrastructure, the decay of all the things that's going on around here. Hey, man, even with how they just had throughout the pandemic, like out here where we at, you got a lot of these builders. A lot of people started moving to Florida, right, from up north. Right, they was able to pay like cash, like they was living in small little bullshit homes up in New York for like $1 million. Was able to come down to Florida and go buy a big ass nice house for $1 million, right? But nevertheless, I think it might be about to rain. We will close up here shortly. It's about to rain, but nevertheless, going back into And to these people buying these homes and everything else like that, man, they started building up entire subdivisions, man. You know, there's a certain roads you can ride down and you can see within a half a mile radius on one road about 6 subdivisions all being built up at the same time. You know, they digging out the land for it and everything else like that, building up the homes and everything. And in some of these subdivisions, I remember when I was working in some subdivisions where when it first started happening, you know, I was working over there. There's probably about like 6 homes in the whole neighborhood. Now there's probably like 200 something homes in this damn neighborhood, man. It's still building, right? But nevertheless, when you go and you talk to some of these people and you look at some of these people's homes and everything else like that, the quality of these homes is not very well built, man. All right, a lot of these people are having like issues with their homes, and the homes are less than 1 year old, man. Oh, the foundation is cracking already, the concrete is cracking already, the pipes is starting to bust already. You got mold behind the walls already. They use cheap wood. They did this, they didn't seal that. You got leaks in the roof and everything. How the hell is your house only a year old, less than a year old, and you got a leaky roof already? You got cracks in the foundation. Your whole side of the wall, your whole house is starting to crack and everything else like that, man. How do you have all kind of busted pipes and everything else going on in these brand new homes, man? All right, because what, you know, the worm is starting to spread under thee, man. All right, things is starting to decay out here, man. All right, you know, they building up things, you know, all extra fast and everything else like that, but using a lesser quality of material, man. Even with the cars, man, you starting to see a lot of these 2021s, 2022 vehicles, man. They got these recalls on them already. All right, a lot of them, we can't even get it out the shop. You know, we got a part that we need to, you know, install in your car. We can't get the part in, or you know, we don't know how to fix this in your car. You got all these, what they call them, electric cars catching on fire and everything else like that, man. Hey, man, your prosperity is coming to a screeching halt, man. All right, this here place is you got a, how they say, for an infrastructure grade, you getting an F plus or F minus, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this place ain't looking good for you, man. All right, you got sinkholes and all kind of things collapsing out here, man. All right, you had I believe it was a year ago, 2 years ago, you had a whole apartment high-rise building collapse down in Miami, man. All right, just one day, just all of a sudden, the whole shit just start collapsing on your ass, man. All right, but this is indicative to America, man. Babylon is fallen and suddenly destroyed, man. All right, but let me finish this up because it's starting to rain over here. But it says Isaiah 14 and 11. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, and the worm is spread under thee, and the worm covered thee. All right, so hey, this is you know how I say you know, pretty much a tall tale sign of, you know, the end has come to this here place, man. All right, when all your infrastructure and everything else is starting to collapse here, whether it be economically, mentally, physically, you know, everything is coming to a screeching halt in here, man. All right, the city of we'll close out with that as a matter of fact. But let me read this down here, verse 16. It says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms, that made the world a wilderness, that destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All right, so hey, this is another how do I say, tall tale sign of you being at the end, man. That wicked is being revealed, even to the point to where these other nations are starting to look at you and starting to see, you know, also going back to thou become weak as we, man. All these nations are starting to see that you're the main issue on the earth. All right, so let me go over to this. We'll read this real quick. Isaiah 24. All right, because going back into, let me read this verse again. Isaiah 14 and 11. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, and the worm spread under thee, and the worm covered thee. Right. So this is Isaiah chapter 24. We'll start at verse. We'll start at verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away, and the haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant. And that's because why the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, and this is what the wicked wound up doing. This is how the wicked wound up ruling the earth, man. All right, and straight wickedness, transgressing the laws, statutes, and commandments, turning everything upside down and inside out, man. All right, but like the scripture saying, hey, you're going to be esteemed as the potter's clay, man. You're going to be broken into pieces for all these things, man. All right, hey, and also we needed this because, look, you know, we have to learn both good and evil. We know now why we shouldn't do a lot of these different things, man. We know now why, you know, let's say, for instance, I'll give you an example. Some of these, when you're younger and everything else like that, people be wanting to get these tattoos. Oh, it look cool. I want to do my own thing. Well, I want to live my own life and everything else like that. And you see some of these women, they go get tatted all up. They tat it all on their chest right here and everything else like that. Tat it all on their face and everything. Now they get to a certain age and they wonder why they can only get Pookie and Ray Rays in the hood to date them, but not really take them serious. Or they'll get them to sleep with them, but won't take them serious, man. Why they can't find no man to marry them, and then they get to a certain age and realize, don't no man want to marry no woman that's marked all up like this and that with all these different signs, got the bow ties in the back of her thighs, walking around like, bro, I can't take you to see my mama had no kids with you. You a bad example on everybody. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, they realize, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have did all these things in my life. You know, but it's all the way to the fact, you know, they had to learn, for them, they had to learn the hard way, man. But hey, that's knowing both good and evil. I know now why I shouldn't have done these things, because now look at what I got to pay for, man. All right? But let's go back. Isaiah 24, verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. It says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance and broken their everlasting covenant. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. All right, so hey, man, this is why the Lord is going to have to come and destroy this whole place, man. All right, let me jump up to verse 3. It says, the land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for Yahweh has spoken the word, because you have transgressed everything, turned everything upside down. You defiled the whole earth, man. Everything from the earth, the how you say, the soil and the dirt, the water, the air, the people, the animals, everything has got to go, man. You didn't modified every damn thing, so everything has got to be reformed, man. All right. Verse 7, the new wine mourneth, and the vine languish, the merry hearted do sigh. Even these damn haughty people, these Edomites out here, man, they don't like living in this place no more, man. This has become a nightmare for me. They used to live the American dream. All right, you know, that was for them. They was always, you know, talking about how they was living the American dream when they was prospering. Jake was always in the American nightmare. But guess what? Now these Edomites is having the American nightmare right about now, man. All right. It says the mirth of tabrets ceases, and the noise of them that rejoices ended, and the joy of harp ceases, man. You just recently had that situation that happened in Illinois or whatever it was. It was like 2 different places, but over the 4th of July, you know, there was little we can't really speak on those things too much, but you know what happened on the 4th of July out there, man. All right, somebody let off different type of fireworks, man. All right, but hey, this is indicative to their little place, man. All right, these events and parades and these gatherings and things like that is not becoming a so-called pleasurable place, man. You talk about some of these things and stuff like that, people are like, nah, I ain't going to that gathering. People get crazy out there nowadays, man. We can't go out there and do these different things like that no more, because you never know what's gonna pop off out there, man. Can't trust these people. I don't want to go in a crowded area, because we don't never know what might pop off out there. It's dangerous out there, man. It's crazy folks out there like that now. It says, the mirth of tabrets ceases, the noise of them that rejoice ended, the joy of harp ceases. They shall not drink wine with the song, strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. All right, so hey, you know, they're not out here partying it up and so-called rejoicing like that, man. Most people can't even afford groceries, let alone going out to the bar and the clubs and drinking it up. You know, Jake is still doing stuff like that because, hey, Jake got food stamps to get their groceries, and they ain't really economically watching nothing, so they just still popping bottles and then going to go get an Amscot to pay their rent the next morning. But hey, for these Edomites, man, they see it's the end has come for their whole ship, man. They see that their ship is sinking, and guess what? They're taking heed to these things, man. All right. It says, they shall not drink wine with the song, strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down, and every house is shut up that no man may come in. All right, and you know, you start to see all the business closing up. All right, all these, like I said, the for sale or for lease vacancies, and you know, a lot of these tent cities and things going up. Hey, man, because look, all the, you know, the infrastructure and the economic wheel that's supposed to be turning here, the grinding is ceasing here, man. All right, so hey, all this so-called economic movement is coming to an end, man. All right, well, you need people to sit there and rent, and people to buy, people to, you know, come into your establishment to bring in money. Well, if nobody coming in and spending money, then you can't pay your bills. You're going to shut down shop there. And that's going to be less bills that you're going to be able to go and spend on your, you know, your grocery shopping, your livability, and everything else like that. So it's a domino effect, man. All right. It says, there's a crying for wine in the streets, and all joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. All right. And you don't see all these people out here that so-called having a good time no more, and out here just in the woo spirit and everything else like that, man. Most people are out here like, man, and if they do go to these gatherings, like, man, let's just go do something so we could at least, you know what I'm saying, hey, have a little bit of joy. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like how it used to be no more, man. All right, people are afraid to travel. People are afraid to go anywhere because I might go get sick because of this. I might go do this or that. Somebody might turn up over here, or I ain't even got enough money. If I go out for this spot, I ain't gonna have no money to pay my bills when I come back, man. All right, so hey, this is coming a burden to all these people out here, man. It says the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. All right, and that's what you have going on out here in this here place, man. Because ultimately, hey, again, this is the end all be all for Esau, man. The worms is covering you, man. You're coming to the end of your rulership, the end of your kingdom, man. The end of your whole society, man. And this is how so-called things end for you, man. Matter of fact, let me read this real quick and then we'll close out. Isaiah 47. Isaiah 47:1, it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There's no throne, O daughter of the Chaldees. For thou shalt be no more called tender and delicate. All right, so hey, there's no more throne, man. That golden city is ceasing and everything else like that. But this is coming to the so-called end of your reign. It says, take the millstone and grind meal, uncover thy locks and make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance. I will not meet thee as a man. Slakia. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt be no more called the Lady of Kingdoms. And so, hey, this is the point in time where, you know, you're falling from your so-called seat of prosperity, your seat of so-called grace, your seat at the top, man. Now you becoming brought down low. Now, hey, you look at America, you know, you can't tell the difference between America and a third world country nowadays, man. This is where America has fallen onto, man. Your infrastructure, your economy, all right, the livelihood of a lot of your citizens and things like that. Hey, man, it's looking like a real third world country out here, man. All right, no jobs, no viable infrastructure or manufacturing or anything else that's going on out here, man. Everything has come to naught out here, man. All right. Verse 4, as for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou in the silence and get thee in the darkness, O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt be no more called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was wroth with my people, and I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thy hand, and thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. All right, and so, hey, man, you know, this is what they wound up doing to our people, man. But look, they're going to get repaid for all the things that they wound up doing, man. All right, like the scriptures say, they shall take them captives whose captives they were. All right, you know, you wound up putting us into subjection and into captivity and slavery and made us build up your kingdoms and everything else like that. What do you think is in store for your future, man? You're going to be the ones building up our kingdoms real soon, man. And this is what they're afraid of and everything. And you see them with their different laws that they're putting up and putting things into place. So to what? They're trying to change up these things. Well, we can't even speak about that no more. But, hey, they have certain things in place because they see what's coming down the pipeline, man. We'll just put it that way, man. They try to, how does scripture say, thy wickedness thy wickedness and thy knowledge has perverted thee. All right, stand now in thy enchantment that thou mayest be able to prevail. All right. In fact, I believe we're gonna read that further down in here. Yeah, this is like verse 10, but verse 7. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou did not lay these things to thy heart, neither did thou remember the latter end of it. All right, you thought that you was gonna keep prospering, but you didn't realize you had a debt to pay, a price to pay a price to pay for these things, man. You didn't realize, you know, you had the all-you-can-eat buffet. You didn't, or not an all-you-can-eat buffet. You had a high, expensive restaurant. You just ordering and ordering and ordering and ordering and ordering and ordering, not realizing to the point that, hey, man, eventually I'm going to have to pay this here bill, man. All right, let me finish this here off. It says, therefore hear now this, thou art given to pleasures, and thou dwellest carelessly, and sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither will I know the loss of children. Oh, I think we just got cut off. Nah. Battery about to die. Oh, still recording. Okay. We're about to close up anyway. It's all good. Where were we at? Verse 8. Therefore, hear now this, thou art given the pleasures now that dwells carelessly, and sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me, and I shall not sit as a widow, neither will I know the loss of children. All right, because hey, they didn't think. Where is it? Did I read that already? Yeah, but it said, oh, the verse above, they didn't consider the latter end. They didn't realize that, like they say, I've been saying, the chickens are going to come home to roost. They didn't think that they was going to have to pay for all these things, plundering all these other nations, going to war and invading all these other nations, man. Lying to all the people, putting out all this here witchcraft, man. All right, you never thought that these people was going to wake up and rebel, man. There was a, I forgot who it was a saying of somebody, I think it was that dude, Yuri something, the little KGB agent saying, like, look, with these dissidents, if they ever wake up to the lies that you've been telling them, they will revolt, man, and that would be really, really, really bad. So they got to get rid of you, man. All right, once they program you to a certain thing, man, once they realize they've been sold a false dream the whole time, man, they're going to wind up revolting, man. Going back to them complaining of ungodly fathers, Talking about they inherited lies and everything else like that, man. This is the point in time where we're coming into. All right. It says, but these two things shall come upon thee in a moment, and one day the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. All right, for all the witchcraft and the wickedness you put out, man, all these things is about to come upon you for these things, man. This is the reason that your kingdom is coming to an end. Also, on the fact that you touched the apple of the Most High's eyes, man. It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, and thou sayest, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it has perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. All right, so hey, at the end all be all, man, you know, you believed in your own BS, your own lies, your own media. You believed in your own little facts that you've been, oh, well, you know, this and that, this is why we have these things going on. So you actually believe that. You actually believe that you was the most righteous people on the face of the earth, and you forgot what you was doing to these other nations. You forgot that these other nations, they see you for your wickedness, man. You think that you're the most righteous people on the face of the earth, but you forgot that you had slaves. You was the most atrocious, most violent people on the face of the earth, bombing all the people on the face. You forgot about all these things, huh? You thought, oh no, we're just spreading democracy and love and everything else. Nah, man. Now, why don't y'all preach love? When have you ever shown love, man? All right, so you starting to believe in your own lies. It says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. All right, and so, hey, that's where we at right now, man. These people don't realize, well, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? That's because you believed in your lies and everything else the whole time. You don't, this is why it's so hard for you, it's a hard pill for you to swallow when we tell you who the devil is and that, hey, this is a wicked-ass kingdom, man. Because they believe the lies of this here place being righteous and them upholding all these different things and how everything is, oh no, we're just doing this for the better of the whole world, humanity. If it wasn't for us, the whole world would be in a dark age. The whole world would have collapsed. It would have been chaotic, barbarianism. If it wasn't for us to civilize the whole earth, everything would be in shambles, when it's the complete opposite, man. All right, if it wasn't for you, everybody would be at peace, living in their own house, doing their own business, living how they were supposed to be living, man. Most High created the balance of the people, man, and separated the people from one for another, man. But what did Esau do? Mixed everybody up and put everybody together, man. And people say, oh, it's a good thing that we all mix together. Man, think about it. Some foods you have, you know what I'm saying, and you eat a certain type of way, you don't mix them up. Why is it like, you know what I'm saying, you got your dinner, you got your appetizer, your salad, your dinner, and your dessert, right? How come it's not that you don't sit there and you take your little appetizer? Let's say you got, you know, let's say, I don't know, some goddamn nachos and chips or whatever, right? Nachos, chips, and cheese, right? How come you don't mix that with your damn salad and mix that with your meal, which you gonna eat? Let's just say some meatloaf and mashed potatoes, and then mix that with your dessert, having some ice cream. You know what I'm saying? You don't mix meatloaf and ice cream together and eat it at the same time. Now, granted, you're gonna eat it all you're gonna eat it all eventually, right? But you don't mix it all up together, man. You have things separated for a separate thing, just so things can vibe, you know, a certain type of way, man. All right, we were all supposed to have our own lands and live our own different types of ways. And the problem with having everybody under one rulership and all being one people is the fact that, hey, man, now let's just say we was all on one accord, and then you have one person that was over top of us that was being wicked. Now the whole earth is being wicked, and nobody would know no better. Like, well, how about we challenge this and like, look, we got a better way of doing things, man. All right, you could at least see, hey, that's why we're supposed to be separate from these other nations, following out this law, statutes, commandments. That was supposed to be our light in front of the sight of these other nations. They're supposed to say, hey, man, surely there's some knowledge amongst it. They doing things different, man. They look like they're wiser than us. They look like they got these things going on and it's working out for them. Why don't we try doing the things that they're doing in their way? Because the ways we doing is not prospering for us, man. All right, but hey, when we get into the kingdom, that's how it's gonna be, man. All right, we're gonna have the law, statutes, and commandments written in our inward parts, man. All right, and we're gonna rule the earth, and it's gonna be prosperous, man. And people gonna realize, you know what, the way Esau was doing this shit was killing off the earth, man. We gotta, how they saying, we gotta save the planet and everything else like that. It's funny and indicative that these people that are saying save the planet is the people with their organizations and their companies that's destroying the planet, man. All right, but we already have a way. It's called the law, statutes, commandments on how to how you say prolong the life of the planet or preserve the planet, man. How we supposed to be living in how do I say upkeeping or taking care of the planet, man. All right, it was all written in the law, statutes, commandments. But hey, we're about to get back into a point in time where those rules, law, statutes, commandments are back being implemented in the earth. All right. Isaiah 47 and 10. It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, and thou sayest, none seest me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it has perverted thee. And thou sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off. Desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. All right, and again, like I said, they don't know how to get rid of these things. But they don't know, they don't realize that that these things all come as scourges and amendments, for them to turn from their wickedness. But hey, they don't think in their mind like maybe if we stop doing these things that we doing, this bad stuff wouldn't be happening, man. If we wouldn't, we can speak briefly on reproductive rates and everything else. Like we're not gonna get into that because they clipping videos over that nowadays too. That's the new misguided doctrines that they talk about nowadays. You speak on that topic, but nevertheless, hey, you worried about population, zero population growth. Well, who the one implemented these things, man? All right. So it says, stand now without enchantment. Verse 12. Stand now without enchantment and without multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so thou may be able to profit, if so thou mayest prevail. All right, and it's, hey, go back to your old ways, the ways that you was doing before. Hey, try to lie your way up out of this, man. Try to deceive your way up out of these things, man. You can't, because this truth is going forth and it's exposing your ass. It says, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, and the monthly procrastinators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, hey, let your witchcraft save you up out of these things, man. Go back to your so-called secret councils and everything else like that, your Bilderberg meetings, your World Economic Forum meetings, and all these different secret councils. Let them save you, man. All right. It says, behold, they shall be as stubble, and the fire shall burn them, and they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame, and they shall not be a coal to warm at, nor a fire to sit before. Hey, you're not gonna be able to escape this here judgment as it's coming down. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even the merchants from thy youth, and they shall wander everyone to his corners, and none shall save thee. All right, because hey, none of these nations are gonna come out to your aid, man. None of these nations are gonna come out to so-called prop you up, man. All right, it says he is persecuted and none hindereth, man. All right, because hey, you're gonna be left out there to dry, man. These nations are gonna say, how long then that laid to suffer thick clay. All right, and because you spoiled all these other nations, they're gonna come out and spoil you at the end all be all, man. So hey, before we close out, man, hey, America is out on their last limit. Nobody's coming to their aid because of what the wickedness that they wound up being doing, man. Now, how they say the chickens are coming home to roost, and this is what you got to deal with, man. All right, you should have considered your latter end, man. All right, you should have considered the things that you was doing. Like I gave the example of the tattoos, man. You done tatted up your whole body at the age of 16 because you thought it would be cool and you looked like a rapper and you was gonna be a rapper. You never considered that maybe your rap career wasn't gonna take off and you was gonna want to get a job someday, get married someday or do something else like that someday, and then the people are gonna be looking at you like you a damn gremlin. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, man, don't nobody want to respect me because I look like Boom Gang tatted all up in the face. And man, your past is what got you in this quagmire that you in, man. But it's your own doings, man. All right, like Esau, who sold his birthright for one more that one morsel of meat. But hey, this is all ultimately written that the elder shall serve the younger. But I'm gonna go ahead and close out with that. Lord, when the elect was edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I'm gonna say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakakudash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that taught us his truth and that will. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Till next time, I'm gonna say, stay strong, Shalom.